I would like to start off today's program with a note from a listener sent to me via direct message on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And the listener writes, MJ, please post Michelle singing Tina Turner's clip on your page. Never laugh so much. Do not deny us all from watching it. Crying happy face, crying happy face, crying happy face, crying happy face, please. In all caps. So, Andrew, you probably need to truncate, do a little edit, and just pull the video from yesterday's, what?
No.
What do you mean, no?
You know what? I was so on the spot. First of all, you know how I hate my voice and my voice singing. Like, I would never do this, like, even in the house or whatever. But you put me on the spot, and in my head, you know what gave me, like, the, like, oomph to do it?
What?
Was I was remembering Fester's commercial back in the day for that other station when he did the singing in the shower.
Oh, those promos. Oh, yeah.
It was so good. I used to laugh all the time when I heard it.
Well, our listener is laughing at what you did yesterday.
Well.
Welcome, everybody. It is the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105, 104.7 FM. We are back live. We were back live yesterday. Just want to make sure that everyone knows this is not a rerun. This is not a best of. This is Tuesday, March 25th. Michelle and I just rode over the brand new Howard Franklin Bridge southbound. Fester, I'm sure, did the same.
I did.
I'm guessing Andrew did the same, and we'll get to that in just a moment. I have some observations of my trek across the new Howard Franklin span. We'll get to that momentarily. One thing I noticed, though, is the right shoulder seems excessively narrow if someone needs to pull over. I don't think you can fit a vehicle on the right shoulder without it hanging off into the right lane.
Oh, we had to get the bikers.
Well, there's a whole other section to the left that's going to open up for like a trail and everything, but I'm kind of curious about that. First, though, so what was this listener talking about? Well, yesterday we did a nutbag story about this guy that went nuts locally, right? With
at a karaoke bar.
Yeah, a karaoke spot in Pinellas County. Guy goes nuts because the karaoke machine was broken. He pulls a gun, fires a shot. I mean, it's just nuts. So I decided to do instant karaoke, and I told Andrew, go ahead and pick a handful of like 80s hits. Don't tell us what they are, and randomly start playing them, and we'll have to sing. We don't know what song's coming up. We don't have the lyrics on the screen like a normal karaoke deal. So Michelle went first and was fantastic. And that's what our listener, let me give the listener props here. It was from, oh, wait a sec. I did not copy and paste her name. Anyway, so the listener knows who they are. Listen to this, folks.
You must understand with the touch of my hand that my pulse reacts.
Look at this.
Wow.
This is great. Look at this.
It was only the thrill. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Opposites attract. It's physical.
Oh, my God.
Only logical.
Oh, my God. Wow.
to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with
This is
it?
incredible.
What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Oh, my God. All right, now, what's incredible is not your singing voice. The fact that you were able to do
that sucks.
That's obvious.
with no notice whatsoever. Andrew started playing. He cut off the whole intro. You know, there's an intro of like, I don't know, 18 seconds or so. But you hit it right. I mean, you hit it perfectly.
You must understand.
I mean, there was 18 seconds or so of intro before you came in, and you hit that. Yes, Andrew. Go ahead. Yes, Andrew.
I have to add, however she sounded in the recording, she sounded like she was having fun.
Sounded like she was drunk at a bar.
Yeah,
Getting
like,
ready to fire gunshots is what she said. That's what.
You don't like Tina Turner.
That's what
MJ's giving me a couple shots of whiskey as we come across the bridge, just to make me comfortable in the studio.
Michelle, you need to loosen up a little bit. Just have a nip of this.
But
Exactly.
what was incredible was, and again, your singing voice is not spectacular, but what was great was that you had no idea what song was coming up.
No.
And it was like mystery. You know what? This might be a new segment we just invented. MJ Morning Show Mystery Karaoke, and Andrew just picks the songs and just plays them, and we have to sing along. Or maybe we expand it and we take phone calls and listeners play mystery karaoke.
Oh, man.
And
that'll be rough.
And we just start playing the song, and the listener has to jump in and sing it and do it perfectly, just like Michelle.
You must understand with the touch of my hand that my pulse reacts.
Anyway, good stuff. I'll probably mention this later on as well because, and Andrew, if you could pull the video of that, maybe the setup, and maybe we should post that as a special video clip on Instagram as a bonus.
No, we don't need to set up.
On MJ Morning Show on Instagram. Hey, folks, I know a lot of you follow me on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio, which you should, yes. But you should also follow the Morning Show's Instagram page, and that is MJ Morning Show on Instagram. And then Fester runs our Facebook page. And on Facebook, follow MJ Morning Show as well. All right, so quickly here, before I get too late, I don't want to burn up too much real estate in the beginning and get off track. But Howard Franklin Bridge, I thought it was smooth. Now, we did not attempt to get on at Kennedy Boulevard, but it looked like it might have been opened. Even at like 5:15 this morning, it might have been opened because as we went all the way to Lois. So we, off of Kennedy Boulevard, we went to Lois and 275 and got on there because there's no way to get on to 275 southbound at West Shore. That's one of the flaws. You can't get on 275 southbound at West Shore. That kind of sucks. It always has sucked. They're going to fix that with the new, multi-jillion-dollar new West Shore exchange deal, which is going to be over the next, 5-8 years or whatever. But we went to Lois, and it was smooth sailing. We had no backup. Traffic was, cars were doing 80 miles an hour on the bridge. There was no issues whatsoever. It was clean, smooth. I thought it was very nice looking. The one question, I just raised this, it just seems like the right shoulder on the new bridge is very, very narrow. And I pointed out to Michelle, for disabled vehicles, a disabled vehicle I don't think can be fully on the shoulder. They're going to be hanging off into the right lane, especially trucks.
I'll tell you what, on the way home or on the way tomorrow, he should stop out and measure it. What do you think, Fester?
Yeah, you know what? Don't tempt him.
I
got my measuring stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Michelle, hold this end of the
right.
retractable
Now,
measure.
You know what I'm going to say? You go out there. I'll hold it over here, and you back up. Keep going. Keep going.
I'll stay against the wall.
Did they also open up the old southbound as northbound? Did they make that switch also last night, Andrew? Do we know? Did they close? Is the old northbound still open, or did they move the northbound to the old southbound?
No, I'm looking at live video footage of some news channel that has a helicopter, and I can see the new bridge right here, and then the old. I don't know.
The old
now.
southbound. And
Old
anyway,
southbound.
It looks like the old northbound is still running. Is what it looks like on whatever Fester's showing me. Anyway, I guess I'll find out on the way home later today after the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. It is 6:10 here at the MJ broadcast. Hey, when we get back, I want to know if you know this football player that was a Super Bowl champion that claimed that he used to get coked up before games. I mean, it's crazy. I saw this. I'm like, what? Why would you admit that and taint your career? I want to know if you've heard of this dude. And then, a Lyft story. A Lyft, a rideshare Lyft story. Little out of control. Next on the MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM, MJ and the crew. Back in a minute. 104.7 FM. If you would like to help the MJ Morning Show out, just tell anybody you know that does not listen to start listening to us and give us like a little sample platter taste. What are you choking and coughing about?
I'll be all right. Thank you, Michelle. I mean, oh, damn it, Fester.
What?
I make 2 cups of coffee.
Did you say, damn it, Fester? You're talking, I've never heard you talk in third person.
In the studio, I talk to myself in third person.
Damn it, Fester?
I'm really mad at myself. I make 2 cups of coffee.
Damn it, Fester.
And, well, damn it, Michelle, really. Because, MJ, all she's doing during the commercial break is just chat. Right? And I make 2 cups of coffee, and I double sweetener one of them, and I don't sweetener the other one, and I drink the unsweetened
Damn
one.
it, Fester.
Damn it, Michelle.
Anyway.
You want to come over there and do a little back and forth to even it out for you?
Anyway, so folks, spread the word that the MJ Morning Show is the best morning show entertainment in the entire Tampa Bay area every morning on 104.7 FM. You can listen conventionally on the radio, obviously, or we stream on every major platform. Just search for Q105 Tampa Bay or our website, mjmorningshow.com. Just click on, and this is great. You get to work. You can just go to mjmorningshow.com on your computer, and the upper right-hand corner, there's a Listen Live button. It's red. Click on that. We start playing out of your speakers. So if you love us on the way to work, you can continue to listen when you get to work on your computer, whatever the story is or whatever the hell you want to do. All right. Couple of things here. I saw this, and I'm like, what the hell? Super Bowl champion blank stuns podcast hopes with gay... What? Hosts.
Okay.
Yeah, so this former Super Bowl champion...
You said hopes.
No, hosts.
Okay.
Super Bowl champion blank is on a podcast and stuns the hosts of the podcast with an admission of cocaine usage. We used to just bump it up good before the game was all coked up. In a shocking admission, a 2-time Super Bowl champion revealed that he once had a monster game after using cocaine.
I bet he did.
Former New York Giants star Brandon Jacobs. Do you even know who this guy is?
Yeah, wasn't he a running back for the Giants? He won the 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots?
And, yeah, you're right. He was in a Patriots-Giants Super Bowl, apparently. Admitted on the Raw Room podcast that he had once indulged in some fine white powder before suiting up for a game. The podcast hosts were also shocked that the 2-time champion was open to admitting such a thing. Why would you want to spoil and taint and ruin your NFL career and legacy and the holder of a Super Bowl championship ring? Why would you want to do that to yourself? Maybe he was coked up during the podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy crap. Jacobs explained that he wasn't something that he did in the NFL, rather during his high school. However, Jacobs explained that podcast hosts were all shocked when the 2-time champion was open to admitting he did such a thing. But he said he also, I don't know what this next sentence doesn't make sense. I'm stumbling over it like a moron over here. It was one of my homeboys and blah, 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 blah. Former Giant star Brandon Jacobs admitted to doing cocaine before a game. That is nuts. Running back played 9 NFL seasons, most of them with the Giants. He won Super Bowl, looks like 42 and Super Bowl 46.
Yeah, the Giants won, the Eli Manning one.
Both over Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And the guy's coked up at some of his games.
You know.
What about NFL random drug testing that never never caught up with him?
Not at the last game.
Holy crap. All right, 6:25 at the MJ Morning Show. I got a Lyft driver story, which is insane. This is out of Minneapolis, apparently. A Lyft. This is always a concern, I would imagine, of Lyft drivers and Uber drivers. Are you going to get a psychopath passenger? I think if you see the rating of the customer, and it's like a 4.9 or maybe the chances are low that you're going to get a psycho, unless maybe you get a lower score. My score was low for a while. I had a 3.1. No, I'm kidding. No, but I had like a 4.6, and I couldn't figure it out. I think I've climbed up to I'm like a 4.79 now or something on my Uber score. But this is nuts. The driver's name, driving for Lyft, Abraham Addo. Father of 4. Started driving for Lyft on the side to set aside money for his children's future. After nearly 6 years on the job, the routine turned traumatic last week. It all started when Addo received a ride request from Fridley, Minnesota to St. Paul, Minnesota. He picked up 2 passengers who he says weren't odd in any way. The only thing was when they got into the car, he was sitting low. Low rider. As he continued the route, Addo noticed flashing lights in the rearview mirror. At first, he thought that the police cars were about to pass him, so he stopped. Before he could react, the car was surrounded by several police officers with guns drawn, yelling, "Everybody, get out of the car! Get out of the car!" As I walked away from my car about 5 feet, all of them with guns pointed at the car started shooting. What the hell? A criminal complaint states that officers were conducting a high-risk traffic stop. What Addo didn't know was that he was transporting a wanted fugitive who had fled police by driving down a 6-foot embankment before getting in his car. So, wait, you're in a police chase, you drive down an embankment, you flee your vehicle, and then use your rideshare app to pick up a Lyft.
You got pinged. You got pinged for an available ride.
What the hell?
I'm going to take that ride.
The complaint states officers fired multiple rounds of chemical irritant into the car when both passengers refused to comply with the multiple commands to get out of the car. Police ended up destroying my car. So they're firing all chemical irritants. They're firing pepper spray rounds or whatever they were using. They must have had like a pepper spray gun deploying rounds of pepper spray, not just like a little spray canister. So the Lyft driver says his car is wrecked because of all the chemical irritant that was fired into the damn car. Holy crap. He's now paying the price. He says that his car is wrecked. He says his psyche is shattered. He says it keeps replaying in my mind. When I try to sleep, I see it. It was terrifying. Since that traumatic day, he hasn't been able to go to work and is receiving therapy. He's stuck with a $2,500 deductible on a $17,000 repair bill on his car.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the last thing you thought when you picked up a Lyft fare. You pick up a Lyft passenger, and the next thing you know, your car is wrecked to the tune of $17,000?
And we thought vomiting was like that.
Oh, my God. That's going to come right out of the kids' future fund.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we ought to start a GoFundMe for this guy.
Nah, he's in Minneapolis.
And we ought to start a GoFU for the crook in the back. He's hopeful that Lyft will take swift action and pay for the repairs. So far, he says they've given him about $700 to get around.
Great.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Lyft. I'm not happy with Lyft right now. I didn't have an accident. I nearly got killed just from a ride you sent me. Now you're asking me to pay money out of my pocket. Unacceptable. In a statement, a Lyft spokesman said that safety, it's the regular canned crap statement. You know, safety is fundamental to Lyft, and the incident described is deeply troubling. We're in contact with the driver to provide support. We have we have also permanently banned the rider's account from Lyft. Well, they're going to be in prison for 20 years. Well, I don't think you have to worry about the rider. Oh, we banned the rider's account. The rider is in prison, jail right now. Probably won't even bond out. Awaiting trial. Who the hell knows how long they're going to go away for? Yeah, we permanently banned the rider's account from the Lyft platform and stand ready to assist law enforcement with any investigation. How about assisting the dude with the $17,000 worth of damage to his Lyft car?
Yeah, take care of your driver.
Yeah. My God. Lyft says it continues to work with the driver, blah, blah. Is that unbelievable? So listen, I hate to spook any of the Uber and Lyft drivers right now, but I mean, you hear a story like this, what's the next Lyft passenger or Uber passenger that's going to get into your car? My God.
If you pick up a passenger while they're running,
Yeah.
or if they're breathing really, really heavy, and they're like, go, 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 get us out of here.
Yeah,
Right.
That might
You
be
might want to just get out of your car and run.
Yeah,
Grab the keys, though.
What signs are there that you have just picked up a fugitive or you're the getaway driver?
You have some audio on this guy?
Yeah, I found the story from a news channel up in
Minnesota. Yeah.
Here we go.
Roll a little bit here. Go. Hit it.
It left me with trauma.
Abraham Ado was an ordinary Lyft driver.
This is the drop-off location I was taking this person.
He picked up 2 passengers from Fridley and was taken.
Yeah, it was a $16. I don't need to hear it. We already told the story. But it was a $16.50 fare, and he ends up with $17,000 worth of damage to his car because the cops fired all kinds of pepper spray rounds inside the damn thing.
But dude, they have like body cam footage from the officers, and they're like, his car's like nearly flipped over.
All right, and then finally here, before I wrap up this segment, I wanted to mention this. God, it's so. The guy that set the dog on fire on the Courtney Campbell Causeway. Oh, geez, Michelle's taking her headphones off. Michelle, come on. I mean, you don't want me to do the story?
No.
We don't make the news, Michelle. We just report
You
it.
don't have to do this story.
So you want me to stop?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm whipped.
It's not entertaining.
Well, we don't. Everything is not. I mean, we're
I'm
also.
not listening to you.
We pride ourselves
We're
in not
also-
being entertaining.
We're also
around here.
we're also informative here, Michelle.
Yeah,
This sicko. Should I not do the story?
I mean,
The Courtney Campbell was shut down because a guy did something horrible on the Courtney Campbell.
it's terrible.
Mhm.
They caught the guy, right?
Piece of yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason Larson, 43. I'm glad it wasn't Mark Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time. Is he still tooling around in his convertible, what was that?
LeBaron?
LeBaron, yes. What a horrible car.
You know what? I think I heard him on a Hungry Howie's commercial
did he
recently.
really?
Like crazy pizza or something,
Yeah,
crazy bread.
He was a good guy.
A great guy.
All right, is he still alive? All right, 6:33 at the
I haven't heard otherwise.
6:33 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, listen, I probably need to address the dog story later on then. Michelle, take your fingers out of your ears. All right?
We don't do those stories when I'm here.
All right, early morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. If you're Morons in the news at 6:40 here on the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, we got a very Florida-centric pile this morning, which, I think we could probably do Morons in the news with Florida stories every single day. But you know what? We allow some other geographical locations to creep in just for a little bit of variety. But this, we will start with Florida. So a Palm Beach woman runs over a bicyclist, and what does she do? She goes and takes a golf lesson.
I mean,
it's a very Florida thing to do, right?
You'd probably lose your
when you
your
run
fee,
over
right?
when you run over the bike guy. Do you yell "4" before you do it?
Was there anything to do? Or how bad were his injuries?
Yeah, how many tires did she hit him with?
A Palm Beach woman struck a bicyclist, then continued on to the country club where she turned over her Mercedes to the valet for her golf lesson. So she hits the bicyclist, keeps going, goes to the country club, hands the keys to the valet, and then proceeds to her golf lesson.
All right, I have a serious question.
With Chip, the pro.
Well, he's the house pro.
They call him Chip Shot. Yeah, go ahead.
Did she know she hit a person?
Yes,
I
she
have a
did.
friend,
Yes.
I have a friend who accidentally
don't
unfortunately
don't give me this crap. Oh, they didn't know they ran somebody over.
Clipped a biker. And he wasn't looking in that way. He didn't see the biker at all. And he thought he hit a garbage can.
Oh.
It made that kind of that hollow thud sound, he said. He's like, I'm looking in my rearview mirror for a...
Like that?
Yeah.
How do you not... If you hear a... How do you not know that you hit something?
He's driving, and I guess like the guy was coming in at an angle, and they kind of like sideswiped each other. He heard the hollow... boom, boom. And he looks in his mirror. There's no garbage can.
Oh, that noise came from nowhere. Nothing happened. It's just a noise that I've never heard before in my car.
He thought it was a garbage can. He wasn't in a place where he could pull over. I mean, I'm not looking.
Right.
Driver safety is very important. But
Ellen Richmond. Oh, you know what?
What's Linda doing?
Linda, her sister is Linda Richmond. Oh, I'm all verklempt. Oh, hello.
Coffee talk.
It's coffee talk with Linda Richmond. And my sister just ran over a cyclist in Boca.
I'm very verklempt.
Down in Boca. I'm all verklempt. I feel awful. I can't breathe. So Ellen Richmond, according to the Boca News Now website, they literally have a BocaNewsNow.com.
Sounds like the news authority in Boca.
Yeah, obtained the official arrest report about the alleged hit and run out of Palm Beach. On March 18th, I found probable cause to arrest and charge Ellen Shaps Richmond, date of birth 2949, with leaving the scene of an accident with injury in violation of Florida statute 316.027-2B in conjunction with a motor vehicle crash, blah, blah, blah. So she was driving a 2017 Mercedes-Benz GL 450. in an easterly direction, blah, 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 after making initial contact with the bicyclist, meaning running the bicyclist over.
Yeah.
Richmond did not immediately stop the vehicle at the scene of the crash or as close to thereto as possible and did not remain at the scene of the crash. Instead, she continued to drive in an easterly direction while, oh my God, while dragging both the bicyclist and the bicycle down the roadway.
She's 77 years old.
Richmond continued driving until she arrived at the Palm Beach Country Club on North Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, where she handed the Mercedes keys to the valet. The bicyclist remained on the scene after the crash, stated that he believed that he was struck by a black or dark-colored Range Rover, but it turned out it was a Mercedes. The bicyclist was then assessed, later transported to Palm Beach, to St. Mary's. To St. Mary's Hospital in West Palm. Compound fracture to his tibia and fibula, as well as other lacerations. Following a canvass of the area, Richmond's vehicle was located by available units.
She obviously didn't know she hit the biker.
Right.
She's dragging the guy.
Well, that's the point. If you're dragging somebody, you obviously don't know, or else you would get out, wouldn't you, Foster?
Linda Richmond going to the club for her golf lesson. She's not some vicious killer on the road.
Yeah.
I'm Linda Richmond. We welcome my sister.
What's her name?
Ellen.
We welcome my sister Ellen Richmond to the show. Good morning. It's time for Run Over Bicycle Talk. Unbelievable. Anyway, she's in trouble.
I have another question.
Yeah, leaving the scene of an accident, injury, felony, second degree. I mean, she's got a lot of crap. Plus, this guy's gonna have a hell of a lawsuit
Against
her.
who?
Again, what do you mean against who? The lady ran him over.
She didn't know. Sue my insurance. Call Jake from State Farm. MJ, bigger question. You're 77 years old like this lady?
I'm not 77 years old.
If you're 77 years old like this lady.
I mean, close.
If you're 77 years old like Sharon Richmond or Ellen Richmond, right? Ellen Richmond?
Yeah.
Ellen.
What's the point of golf lessons at this stage? I mean, you're 77. You're not going to get any better.
Right.
I mean, if you don't know now, Ellen.
Maybe she's hot for the pro.
Right?
Maybe she's all hot for the pro at the shop. Listen.
I stand a chance.
Since my menopause, I'm really, really horny.
That's great.
All right. 6:46 at the
Golf pro gigolo.
Well, I like that.
Taking care of all the old ladies.
Golf pro. Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, you're looking so good, Miss Richmond.
Oh.
Look at you, and you're handling the ball, Miss. I'm trying to do Bill Murray and Caddyshack.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. Oh, stop it.
Let me tell you what I did for the boys coming back from Korea.
All right, moving along here on the MJ Morning Show.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
You never saw Caddyshack?
Mm-mm.
What's wrong with you?
Hold on, wait. You have never seen Caddyshack with me?
No.
MJ, how could you let that happen?
What the? Come on, that is impossible.
No, we've seen scenes. Is that the one where somebody throws a baby roof in the pool and they say it's a poop?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Is that the one where somebody... Duty!
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the only scene I know from the whole movie.
I'm all right. Nobody worry about me.
You say this every time that song comes on. You're like, that's a move from Caddyshack.
Because it is from Caddyshack.
Wang and the camera, the hat and the soup. What?
I have a Caddyshack reference probably at least twice a week on the MJ Morning Show.
Yesterday you had one.
Exactly. The Blues Brothers at least 9 times a week.
Maybe we should have a MJ Morning Show movie night and we could all get together and watch Caddyshack.
Do you remember when MJ insulted my shirt and said, when you buy a shirt like that, you should get a bowl of soup?
A free bowl of soup. Yeah.
It looks good on
All right,
you.
so listen to this. Again, like I said, Florida, local, man wearing a T-shirt declaring, I never argue. So the guy's wearing a black T-shirt with big white font. I never argue is on the front of the shirt.
Okay.
Arrested when an argument with a female acquaintance turned violent. Daniel Murillo, or maybe it's Murillo, 44, accused of repeatedly punching a 24-year-old victim in the head while they were seated in a BMW outside of an Econo Lodge in Kissimmee. What are you laughing at?
Let me tell you, the Econo Lodge.
Why are you laughing, Michelle?
Because you said they're sitting in a BMW outside of the Econo Lodge. They kind of don't.
I mean, it sounds like a nicer
like
car.
McDonald's. One of these things doesn't belong together.
Exactly.
One of these. So you don't think anyone that drives a BMW stays at an Econo Lodge?
I would think that's not the main vehicle in their parking lot.
So at what level of roadside motels are BMWs likely to be seen in the parking lot? Do we get to the Red Roof Inn?
Four Seasons.
No, I mean, listen. I mean,
do we get to we get to La Quinta?
Let's start at the bottom. I mean, maybe like a Hampton.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Maybe a Hampton, nice Hampton. I think all cars are welcome at the Hampton, but the Econo Lodge seems like Jalopy Central.
Exactly.
Just the way. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I've seen Jalopy BMWs too.
Right.
That are like,
You're saying that no nice cars can be in an Econo Lodge parking lot?
I'm just saying when you see one, you're like, whoa, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Like I said, what about La Quinta? Whoa! La la la. La Quinta, BMW in a parking lot. So this happened in Kissimmee. They were traveling from Tampa. So they're coming from over here. They were left stranded when the car broke down. You know what? It was probably some 20-year-old 3 Series is what I'm thinking. That's probably what it was. It's probably an old E36 3 Series. Yeah, so they came from Tampa. A few days at the hotel, they ran out of money and began staying in the vehicle while attempting to fix the vehicle in the parking lot. Murillo said he and the victim had been in a romantic relationship for several months. The woman denied an intimate relationship. Well, we got a he said, she said here. The inability to arrange a AAA tow, the victim told police, added tension, now led to a verbal argument, which investigators charge progressed to the guy hitting the woman, battering the woman. The cops noted that the victim had several bumps on her head, which appeared to be swollen and recent. He claimed, Murillo, that he struck the victim several times in retaliation for her punching him in the face. He added that after the woman threw urine at him from a cup they had inside the car in a cup holder.
I mean, when you live in a car.
Oh, my God. They
where
had
else do you
urine
go?
in the cup holder?
Yeah.
That the woman also broke the windows in the vehicle as well. Based on the totality of the circumstances, officers arrested him on misdemeanor battery, was booked into the Osceola County Jail. But the kicker to the story is when arrested, he was wearing an I Never Argue T-shirt emblazoned on the front. I never argue.
Econo Lodge in Kissimmee. Would you care to guess how many stars?
Oh my gosh.
I was going to guess 2.6. It's got a 2.8 on Google reviews.
It's doing much better than 2.6.
I was going to guess a 2.6. It's got a 2.8, baby.
This place is awful.
Yeah.
The room didn't have a vent in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what's great? Reading some of the low Google reviews, especially for motels. Some of the reviews are fantastic. You know, roaches crawling on me in the middle of the night. All kinds of like crack pipe burns on the furniture and all that stuff.
Well, the funny thing about these reviews is on Google, it gives you a bar graph of how many 5, 4, 3, 2. 1-star reviews is literally half.
It's the highest. The highest number of reviews are 1 stars. All right, so that's why we call it morons in the news. You know what? I'm not done. I'm carrying this over because I'm backed up. I'm backed up like I got a bad constipation problem with morons in the news. Seriously. All right, so I'm going to blow this place up. All right, so seriously, I want to continue with morons in the news because it just gets better from here. I'm telling you. It's well worth hanging out. Back in minutes, MJ Morning Show, the morons get even worse. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, At a Lightning game. It is the MJ Morning Show on Q105 at 7 o'clock exactly. It is great to be back this week. Our first live show after a couple of weeks off for spring break was yesterday. What do you give me a look for?
What, did Michelle give you a copy of Jock Jams or something? What's that? Is this the first time we played that?
No, I've played that one before. No, I guess what? Speaking of Jock Jams, I also have... I also have this as a rejoiner piece of bumper music as well. Y'all ready for this? Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, 7:01 at the MJ Morning Show. Have you ever heard of Domestic Battery by Watermelon?
I mean, it counts, right? You can't throw a watermelon at somebody. You can't hit somebody with a watermelon.
A whole freaking watermelon.
Ooh.
I mean, we're not talking about like the cut-up chunks from Publix, which, by the way,
oh God! Okay, here we go.
What am I gonna say, Michelle?
I can't believe how expensive that is just to have somebody cut a watermelon into little pieces.
The upcharge for getting the sliced fruit in the clear plastic containers at Publix, the upcharge is enormous.
Yeah, you know what? If you want little pieces of fried chicken nuggets, the upcharge for them to cook it is enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a convenience fee. You can eat it right there. It's a thing. Listen, I'm gonna go home and cut my own melon.
And then you know what? You make a mess. The watermelon juice is everywhere, and you leave all the stuff there for me to clean up.
All right, whatever. Anyway, I like cutting my own fruit with my fat fruit cutting fingers.
Yep, fat fruit cutting fingers. That's what I say to you all the time.
Hold on. Where did that come from?
Your grandma Franny.
Yeah. What
I don't know. Somebody said it to somebody. Maybe your mother, I think, said it about your grandma. Like, she has fat fruit cutting fingers, and like they're kind of stuck in your head.
My mom was making a disparaging remark about her mother-in-law, my dad's mom, and my mom made some kind of remark about Franny and her fat fruit cutting fingers.
Because Franny used to like to be in the kitchen all the time. She was always cutting and chopping, and that's what your mom was mad about or something.
Oh my God! And her crepe soup, whatever the hell that was. All right, so domestic battery by freaking whole watermelon.
What size melon?
I do not have the actual dimensions of the watermelon.
That makes a difference, right?
You're talking about the little round one, like a kickball, versus the long oval shaped oblong, like 30-pound watermelon.
I feel like I don't see the long oval ones anymore.
Oh, I see. What are you talking about? I see them all the time.
The big long
yes,
oval ones.
I see those.
I'm not saying they're extinct. I'm just saying I don't see them as much.
Yeah, they're not extinct.
like most of them you see.
Like the dodo bird.
It seems like when we were younger, the watermelons were like 2.5 feet long. Now they're all round.
They're not all round.
They're mostly round.
I agree with Fester.
You go to Publix or Winn-Dixie's that are still open.
What about your favorite store?
I don't buy produce from Aldi.
Wait a second. Breaking news on the MJ Morning Show. Fester loves Aldi but does not buy produce at Aldi. Why?
I think Aldi could step their produce game up a little bit. Little
Are you suggesting that they troll the Publix dumpsters and pull the produce out of there and resell it at Aldi?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, look twice.
Can I finish
look
with my
twice
damn
the produce at Aldi?
Let me finish my damn watermelon story here. So, of course, this is a Florida story. Of course, it is a local story. A woman charged with domestic battery hurled a watermelon at her boyfriend, a whole watermelon. Luckily, he dodged the flying fruit. Oh, it was a drive-by fruiting. Wasn't that funny, guys?
That was pretty funny. I wasn't expecting it.
Verbal confrontation happened Sunday night. Shelly Hardwick, 51, picked up a whole watermelon and hurled it at the victim. The 56-year-old man quickly moved out of the way of the incoming watermelon. The weight was not disclosed. That's in the actual story in the arrest affidavit. Hardwick told cops that she threw the watermelon only out of frustration, but denied tossing it in the boyfriend's direction. This happened in a motel in Dunedin. Is that really a convenient fruit to have a whole watermelon inside a Dunedin motel?
I mean, we stay in a fair amount of hotels. Maybe we'll get like some bananas or like those little cuties or something, but never a melon in a hotel.
Listen, upon arrival, a motel in Dunedin, a Gulf Coast city. Thank you. Yes, it is.
Well, we know this.
Yes, I'm reading with the stories. Of course, here in Pinellas County, the cops noticed that there were watermelon seeds all over the victim's face and clothing. Hardwick was arrested for domestic battery, a misdemeanor. After spending a night in jail, she was released from custody on her own recognizance. Judge directed Hardwick, who has pleaded not guilty, to have no contact with the victim and stay away from fruit as well.
All right, this is a crap story because most watermelons are seedless. It's not like those black seeds like there used to be.
No, there are still... And you know what?
What?
The watermelons with seeds typically have more flavor than the seedless watermelons.
I completely agree.
I would rather have seeded watermelons and flavor than bland-tasting garbage watermelon without seeds.
And plus, this isn't watermelon season.
Yeah.
We're still in the strawberry season, then blueberry season, then watermelon season.
Obviously they come from different locations. You know, it's not Florida watermelon season just yet. Anyway, the judge ordered, in Pinellas County, the judge ordered Hardwick to be outfitted with an ankle bracelet that monitors alcohol consumption. Wait a minute. There's a bracelet that can read, like, the alcohol from your skin? I didn't know that. Is that true?
I guess. I mean, it says it in the story.
Hold on. Does anyone know this to be a fact? Anybody listening to the MJ Morning Show, is there an ankle bracelet that can report whether you're drinking?
What, do you want alcoholic criminals to call in now?
Yes, absolutely. 800-990-1047. Yeah, tell the unrelated question. I'll get to them right away in just a second. First, though, does anyone have any experience with wearing an ankle monitor that detects whether you've been drinking alcohol? I guess we could also just Google it. But I'd like to hear if you've been ordered by the court to wear an ankle bracelet that detects your alcohol consumption. Anybody want to fill us in? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047.
Well, I did. You know what I did find on Amazon very quickly?
What?
Our ankle monitors are cover-ups for the ankle monitor.
What?
Yeah, on Amazon.
There's
they
a
have,
company that sells a cover-up if you're ordered to wear an ankle monitor.
Yes.
They sell something to cover it up so people
Yes.
don't know you have an ankle monitor.
It's a cover-up for the alcohol monitor ankle bracelet.
That's available on
Amazon.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
So, doing a little Google review,
Yeah.
do you have any idea? Would you care to guess what the acronym for the alcohol bracelet is called?
Well,
or the
I can see the screen because we share a mirrored screen, Fester.
Well,
Yes.
That totally screws my plan.
An ankle monitor that detects alcohol is known as a scram bracelet. Secure continuous remote alcohol monitoring. That's like the Blues Brothers. Hope they don't have SCMODs. State, county, municipal offender data systems. That's what led to the mall chase. Lots of space in this mall. Anyway, scram. Wait a minute. Line 2?
Are people calling in?
Yeah, hang on. Then we have an unrelated call we got to take. Hi, it's MJ. Good morning. Is this Jim in Plant City?
Yeah, how you doing?
Jim, have you been ordered to wear an alcohol monitoring bracelet at any point in your life?
No, my girlfriend has this new medical bracelet that tells her alcohol level, if she's drunk or not, all kinds of different stuff. It's pretty neat.
Was it court ordered?
No, hers wasn't court ordered. We got it just to monitor her blood pressure level.
Oh, I thought maybe to monitor her drunkenness.
Hey, it would help if her son had one, I tell you that.
Oh, wait a sec. So her son has a consumption problem?
Oh, he loves having fun on the weekends, man. He's in the Air Force, and when he's not in the Air Force, he likes to come home and have a little fun.
All right. I guess so.
All right, Jim.
All right, Jim, thanks for the call. All right.
All right.
Anybody listening right now that is wearing a court-ordered alcohol monitoring bracelet, come on, call me. Anyone with a court-ordered alcohol monitoring bracelet right now, call us. I'll give you a prize. How about a 6-pack of Natty Light?
Don't say that
All
unless
right.
you're going to deliver. I mean,
All right, 800-990-1047. In the meantime, Michael has some type of an unrelated question. I have no idea what this is. Michael, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good morning, sir. How are you today is more like it.
I'm great. I'm just wondering why, after a 2-week vacation, and I've been texting Fester, that you guys are still in the old studio.
Dude, don't get me started.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do here.
Don't get me ramped up. So, yeah, the studio is in the exact same condition that it was when I left.
Yeah, we noticed.
No, not the dumpster fire I'm in right now. I'm talking about the new studio. It doesn't appear that anything was done while I was away for 2.5 weeks or whatever the hell it was.
Well,
Yeah.
we're wondering why that is. You should be in there by now. You guys deserve it.
I should have been in there 4.5 years ago, sir. They promised me a brand new studio when they hired me and Fester back in October of 2020. So I'm told we'll be in the new studio now within 30 days. But every 30 days go by, it's another 30 days.
It's another 30 days.
I know.
Yes, sir. We hear that over and over.
But I am told we'll be in the brand new studio, and it's a nice-looking studio. I'm told within 30 days, all right?
Can't wait to see it.
And I'm sure our engineers are very happy you called.
Thank you.
All right, have a nice day. By the way, our engineers are very smart dudes, and they there's a lot of problems, I guess, they're working on. But still, I wish we'd be in our new studio. All right, Aaron in Tampa. Aaron, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. I was just calling in. I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, it is called Scram. I did have to wear one for about 3 to 4 months.
Whoa, Aaron, why did you have to wear a scram bracelet to monitor your alcohol?
Yeah, I did. It was during my divorce, so it was court ordered, just based on what my ex felt like I needed.
Whoa, hold on. So your ex and his lawyers got a judge to order you to wear an alcohol monitoring bracelet? What were his accusations against you?
It was mainly just he didn't feel like the kids, I guess, were safe around me, even though there was really no actual proof of that.
Well, listen, I guess the obvious question is, were you throwing them back?
No, not at all. No, I was.
So you're saying he made it up to try to gain favor with the court?
Correct.
So
yeah.
he lied. He perjured himself.
Right, but I didn't really. It was either that or I was. It came down to either like wearing it for that 3 to 4 months, which I will tell you is not cheap. It's extremely expensive.
Oh, so you have to pay for the monitoring as well.
Yeah. You pay roughly about. I want to say I paid somewhere around like $200 a month just to have it monitored.
Oh, wow.
And then you have to pay for the installation and then also for it to be taken off. But it monitors everything, like down to like beauty products. So like if a beauty product like lotions, it monitors alcohol in the air. So like if there was like a chemical that had alcohol, it can trigger it. You can't cover it.
Wow.
So I know Michelle was mentioning the coverings, but you can't cover it.
Oh, wow.
You're not supposed to.
Well,
if you cover it, it sets off the alarm.
Oh, really? So not only do they want to monitor your alcohol, they want you to be embarrassed so everyone can see you're wearing some kind of monitoring device.
People saw it, and I mean, it is what it is, and you just kind of have to, you know.
How are things now? How old are your kids now? How long ago was this?
This was recent. It was within the past year. So.
Oh, my God. How old are your kids?
Oh, they're 8 and 11.
All right. Everything okay? Do you have custody of the kids, or is it a shared deal?
I do. No, the divorce is final, and everything is 50-50, so it all turned out just fine.
All right. Well, listen, thank you, Aaron. Thanks for your honesty and calling in. It's listeners like you that share stories that really help the show out, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you guys. I love listening to you every morning.
Thank you, Aaron. Have a great day. Matt in Clearwater. Look at this. The phones have blown up with alcohol monitoring bracelet wearers. Matt in Clearwater. Matt, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ and friends.
Hello. Good morning.
You
know what? That's the new name of the show, MJ and Friends.
I don't know if Friends is appropriate.
Hey, it's MJ and Friends. Good morning, everybody. Hey, coming up, the horoscopes are coming up in just a bit.
MJ and
we got War of the Roses coming up with another phony fake phone call that's all staged up good. All right, go ahead, Matt.
So it's totally legit. About 9 years ago, I had a scram bracelet on, ankle monitor, and so I wanted to call in because the funny thing is, my kid's mother, who I was with at the time, she had drank alcohol, and I did not, drink any alcohol. And so we had relations one night, and it set off my monitor.
Oh.
And, of course, I had to face the music for it.
Oh, wait a minute, because you were kissing her or for some other reason?
No, we spent the night together. And
spending the night
I was worried
together.
about it because she had like a half a bottle of wine, but I
Yeah, you did it anyway.
All right, but the question is, how as clean as possible, was it just a kiss that her alcohol consumption?
No, we slept in the same bed together. We were together at the time.
So it was in the air?
Her sweat basically set off my monitor.
Oh, wow. You guys were all sweaty is what you're saying.
Isn't that a flaw in the system? What do you mean you had to pay the price? Would they arrest you?
Yeah. I had an issue actually with her to get the ankle monitor in the first place. And then, I violated for that and had to pay the price.
Wow. Hey, listen, thanks, Matt. And everything good now, though? You in good shape?
Everything's good now.
All right, fantastic.
You have a great day, and thank you. I love the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling. One more call on this. Sarah, Treasure Island. Sarah, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi. My boyfriend has one right now, and they can't have more than 0.02% alcohol in the system, and they told him he can't even use Windex or Lysol or anything to clean.
Wait a minute. Windex is going to set off your scram. What is the name of the scram thing? What does the acronym stand for again, Fester?
I got to look it up again.
Because it's the alcohol content in the cleaning products. And it's just insane. And so he has to clean everything with water, or I have to clean it.
Michelle, my lovely wife, Michelle, who happens to be sitting right here. Michelle, what is your go-to cleaning product?
Straight up alcohol?
No. Vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
You say that vinegar is
but you can't use vinegar on granite and stone, so that's not really my go-to. Sorry.
All right. Well,
and so it's just crazy, and so we're just terrified. I'm going to do something with the regular cleaner, and he's going to touch it, and then it's going to set it off.
Yeah, he's going to go to jail. It's going to sound like this. Oh, my God. Holy hell.
And so he can go to a restaurant/bar to go eat, but he can't go to, like, Ricky T's on Treasure Island to go.
Well, some bitch.
Have a meal. Have a meal because it's considered a bar.
I can't even go to Ricky T's.
Legal to go to a bar to go get something to eat. Yeah.
I can't even go to Sammy Stoner's.
Nope.
Can't do it.
No.
Sarah, so why was, last question, Sarah, why was your boyfriend ordered to wear an alcohol monitoring bracelet?
Oh, because he went to Bascom's and drove the wrong way down the street.
He went to Bascom's Chop House and drove the wrong way?
Yeah.
On Ulmerton?
I don't know if it was on Ulmerton. I don't know what street it was. He drove the wrong way.
Was he given a DUI?
Yes.
Wow. What? And did he blow or refuse?
I think he blew. I don't know all the specifics. He doesn't want to talk about it. So.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, listen, thanks.
It's a big thing.
Thanks for sharing. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks, MJ.
Wow.
You too.
By the way, the SCRAM stands for what, Fester?
What? Let me pull it back up again. Secured monitoring something.
Dude, you just had it on the screen. Just leave the screens alone.
I went to the Bascom Chop House website.
Secure. Why would you need to go to the Bascom Chop House
website? I
website?
want to see what road was behind that place that he might have driven. Because
they have a map on their website. You go to Google Maps for that.
I typed in the Google. Here we go. Secure, continuous, remote, and alcohol monitor.
That's what SCRAM bracelet stands for. All right, 7:19 at the MJ Morning Show. All right. When we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Very excited about this every day. When we get back, 1 hour and 20 minutes plus. No commercials, no music, nonstop content. If you think you're going to punish your kids by cutting off the Wi-Fi or limiting their access, I've got a warning for you coming up in just a matter of moments. Oh, have you heard this crazy, insane Katy Perry conspiracy theory?
No.
There is, my God, Katy Perry. Hey, Andrew, get me some Katy Perry hooks ready to go. There is a Katy Perry conspiracy story floating around, and it is nuts. And that's just scratching the surface of what's going to happen in minutes. Don't move. Next MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM at 7:20. Zero. The MJ Morning Show as we launch 1 hour and 20 minutes plus. Why do I say plus? Because it's like Paramount Plus. No. It's always more than an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Hey, incidentally, Michelle and I rode over the brand new Howard Franklin Bridge southbound today. Very nice, smooth, clean, wider. The only question I have is that the right shoulder seems very, very narrow for disabled vehicles that would need to pull over. So I'm just a little concerned on a very, very, very narrow right shoulder. So is that going to be okay for like the road rangers who I have an immense amount of respect for?
Can't imagine that nobody else pointed that out during the whole construction process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get out there and measure it. I need to.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to measure. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop on the interstate, and I'm gonna put my flashers on. I'm gonna measure the right shoulder on the new Howard Franklin. Yeah. So the new bridge is open, and they have you jogging over from the old approach. So you jog over a little bit, but it's not like erratic. It's not like your neck is getting jerked. So it's an easier swerve over, and then they then send you back over on the other end on the Pinellas side. The old northbound is still in effect, but the old southbound will become the northbound, and the current northbound will get demolished sometime in 2026.
What are they going to do with it all? Make it like a big oyster reef or something? Or?
I tell you what, man, that all that concrete is valuable. You know, when you dump concrete at the dump, you don't pay for the dump charge because the concrete is recycled. That's a big business, recycled concrete, man.
Oh.
You know how much concrete that's going to be? It's going to be a schnit ton.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the S-bomb, I got to play something in a few minutes.
What happened?
No, I'm going to play it as is. It ran on Channel 28 last night. Folks, you got to hear this coming up in just a matter of minutes. First of all, one of the items I just teased before the break was if you're a parent and you think you're going to punish your kids, the kids are behaving badly. It's like, if you don't stop it, I'm going to take your Wi-Fi away. We need a modern version. You'll have fun till your mama takes your Wi-Fi away. Fun till your mama takes your Wi-Fi away. The old, Beach Boys. Yeah, the old Beach Boys song. Yeah. Do you have a little clip of that? Fun till your mama takes your Wi-Fi away. Till your mama takes your Wi-Fi away. There you go. That's it. Let's redo it for 2025. Yeah, teens accused of attacking their mother over a Wi-Fi dispute.
I'll teach mom.
Listen, heads up on this. 3 teenagers arrested after attacking their mother in Harris County, Texas, over Wi-Fi access. Yeah, Sheriff Gonzalez out there in Texas said deputies responded to a disturbance at a home. That's when authorities said they found out that a woman had been assaulted. The woman's 3 children, 14, 15, 16. Oh, my God. Would you want to give that uterus a little rest?
Nope.
Holy crap.
There was a time.
14, 15, 16.
There was a three-year stretch that...
My God, that was a 3-banger. Man, 14. Anyway, the kids became angry because mom turned off the Wi-Fi router because the kids were misbehaving. So then they beat the crap out of mom. Holy hell. Yeah, the sheriff said that the teens allegedly coordinated a plan to kill their mother, arming themselves with kitchen knives and chasing her through the house and into the street. During the attack, the mother was struck with a brick. They're throwing bricks at their mother's head. They're trying to stab her with knives because mom turned off the internet.
They're going to need some kind of counseling or something to work past this, right? I mean, that's...
Oh, my
What
God.
is happening?
It's unfreaking believable. Yeah, I guess the grandmother tried to intervene, and she was knocked out during the struggle.
Step aside, Granny.
Oh, my God.
You don't want a piece of this.
Right. Neither woman suffered permanent lasting injuries. All 3 teens were arrested, charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, booked into the juvenile detention center in Harris County, Texas.
All right, hold on, MJ. I'm looking at some news footage of this, and it shows where the brick was taken.
Oh, my God. It's one of those lawn and garden edging bricks.
Yes.
You know, when you put like a course of bricks, you stack them up around the tree or something?
Smooth on all sides but one, which has like a little texture to it.
Holy hell.
That's what she got hit with, right? You see where the brick was taken.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
See, whenever I take away the Wi-Fi at my house, I just blame it on like the provider. I'm like, system's down.
That's a good one.
Yep. I didn't pay the bill. They cut it off. Then I act like I'm on the phone with them.
I think we used to try something like that, but then Julian got very technologically savvy, and he would be able to be like, "Well, let me take a look. Where's the wire?" And he would know how to get in there and do something, and he'd be like, "No, there's no problem here. We need to call the company." And he now directs MJ as to how to fix the technology in our house.
All right. There was something that happened on local television last night. I'm like, say what? What? Say what? I'll get to that in a few minutes. A reporter said something on live. This was a live newscast, but the report was not live. It was a recorded report that the anchors threw, to the report.
Like a package?
A package. That's what they call it, a package. And anyway, I want to play you some audio in a few minutes. Folks, you're going to want to hear this. It'll happen in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. Stand by. First, though, the Katy Perry conspiracy. I had not heard this, but apparently this is so rampant that Katy Perry had to respond. Fester, have you heard of the Katy Perry conspiracy rolling around?
I don't think I have.
Michelle, have you heard of the Katy Perry conspiracy rolling around?
I don't think so.
How long? Oh, this one.
Hold on. You had heard about it or no?
Okay.
You just said, oh, this one, like you know what it is. Do you know what it is? Yes or no?
I feel like I've heard this a while
I've
ago.
never heard this. Katy Perry is now responding to this nutty conspiracy, claiming that she's actually JonBenet Ramsey.
No.
Where the hell did this... Michelle, you heard of this?
I've not heard of this.
Katy Perry has responded to the internet conspiracy theory that's rolling around that Katy Perry is actually the former 5-year-old beauty child pageant queen that didn't die and became Katy Perry.
Do the years
What?
match up? I thought
Katy Perry is 40 years old, and she's commented on an Instagram video that rolled out about a month ago featuring an AI-generated video of JonBenet Ramsey transforming into Perry. And the clip was playing Katy Perry's song Wide Awake. And somebody did this whole AI morph where they're showing that JonBenet Ramsey's actually Katy Perry. And they do like this AI progression. I mean, it is really professional looking. And it is creepy.
Yeah, AI is incredible with what they can morph, but I've never heard that she was JonBenet. The years don't match up. JonBenet would be what, 30-something?
35.
Okay. And Katie's 40?
Yeah, so it doesn't add up.
Well, if you're trying to fudge something, I guess, within 5 years, who's going to really notice?
I mean,
so
right?
Katy Perry wrote on Instagram, wait, am I?
All right, thanks, Katie. That's the way to squelch it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, maybe I am.
So, but she hasn't come out and said, I am not JonBenet Ramsey. What kind of sicko would do this? I mean, the family went through, obviously a lot of Are they alive?
So the father's alive.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There's a documentary on Netflix.
The mother died.
Cancer.
Patsy.
Patty or
Patsy.
Patsy. She died of cancer, right?
Yes.
The brother who was floated as a possible suspect, he's still alive too, right? The brother?
I think the only dead one's the mother.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then the father's still alive, right?
Yeah. John Ramsey?
John Ramsey, exactly.
So I just, maybe 3 months ago, I saw a documentary on Netflix. It's like a 3-parter, but then by episode 2, you got all the information.
Listen, the case is unsolved. It's an unsolved mystery.
You want to talk about a botched crap ass case?
Yeah.
Really?
Was it the Boulder Police Department? Yeah. They totally screwed this up.
Really?
Yeah.
Good job, Lou.
Huh.
Yeah. So Katy Perry is just responding with, "Am I? Wait, am I? I mean, wouldn't you? Does that kind of like feed into the conspiracy? Wait, am I? Like
she's not saying no.
She should just come out and say, "No, I'm not JonBenet Ramsey." The freaking years don't even add up. As far as me being 40 and JonBenet Ramsey would be, how old did you say she'd be today?
35.
35. What was that, Andrew?
That keeps people talking about her.
Andrew, are you on the air with this or not?
He just said it on the air.
All right, you did say that?
It keeps people talking about who? Katy Perry?
Right.
Like she needs more attention to be associated with a murdered child?
She's a celebrity. She wants that.
All right, you ready for the thing that happened on local television last night?
Was it during the newscast? Was it?
It was. This happened.
When?
Last night at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
This happened on our news and weather partner, ABC Action News. I got a lot of respect for our friends at ABC Action News. We've got a phenomenal relationship with Dennis Phillips, the chief meteorologist over at ABC Action News.
I have a phenomenal relationship with Wendy Ryan.
Look at that.
She just doesn't know it.
Dude, that is creepy as F.
I think Wendy's fantastic.
All right, listen. So we've got a great relationship with numerous folks over at ABC Action News. 6 o'clock, they're talking about the opening of the new Howard Franklin Bridge. But then there's also a story about the NTSB, that they're concerned with a whole bunch of bridges around the country that could be a collapse possibility if hit by a ship. Kind of like what happened up in Baltimore.
Yeah, the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Yeah, the Sunshine Skyway, even the new one, is on the list for inspections if a ship were to run into. But they put all those bumpers. You've got those huge concrete circular bumpers protecting the structure of the Sunshine Skyway at the mouth of Tampa Bay into the Gulf. But so they're doing a story on this last night on ABC Action News, right? So listen to, this is Paul Legrone. He's the anchor at 6, and he's just doing the intro to the story. He did nothing wrong. So here's Paul Legrone, ABC Action News at 6 o'clock. Listen.
And the opening of the new bridge comes just days after the release of an NTSB report calling for 68 bridges to be inspected across the nation, including the Sunshine Skyway. The report says those bridges may be at risk of collapsing if they're hit by a cargo ship. ABC Action News reporter J.J. Burton reached out to drivers today to get their voice on safety concerns.
All right, so now he throws it to the recorded report with some reporter named J.J. Burton, right?
Okay.
Did I mishear something in this report? Let me play the audio. Here's a portion of the report. Listen.
The NTSB is calling for safety inspections of the Skyway Bridge and 67 other bridges nationwide. And they say those bridges are high risk and could collapse if a ship hits them.
All right, hold on a second. All right, hold on. What's the reporter's name?
J.J. Burton.
He's a local guy, right? I mean,
yeah, this is a local report.
All right.
That wasn't live. That was a recorded package. All right, hold on. I must have misheard that. Hold on a second. Let me hear it again.
The NTSB is calling for safety inspections of the Skyway Bridge and 67 other bridges nationwide. And they say those bridges are high risk and could collapse if a ship hits them.
I think he said ship, right? If a ship, a ship hits them.
I hear 2 letters.
I'm pretty sure it said ship, right? Hold on, let me hear it one more.
The NTSB is calling for safety inspections of the Skyway Bridge and 67 other bridges nationwide. And they say those bridges are high risk and could collapse if a ship hits them.
Andrew, do you have just the word isolated?
Yeah, here we go. Ready?
If a ship hits them.
Oh, God.
If a ship hits them.
I'm sorry.
Is it just that we're just not getting the P popped enough in the...
If a ship hits them. If a ship hits them. If a ship hits them.
Is it possible he used both consonants at the end?
If a ship hits them.
Do you not hear
If a
it?
ship hits them.
Do you hear the TP?
I think he's doing... I think he's saying ship, but it just... it's just a soft P and not a harder in a...
It's
If
soft.
a ship hits them.
It's a soft P with a soft T in front of it.
If a ship hits them.
Do you know, MJ, the size of a turd you would need to take down this Skyway bridge?
Always with the poop here.
It's not me, it's the reporter.
A giant floating turd took down the Sunshine Skyway Bridge.
It was massive.
Woo! In a throwback to the horror back in 1980. Was it 1980 when that happened? I think it was.
I think so.
Unbelievable. Anyway, J.J. Burden over at ABC Action News, thank you for the morning entertainment. Thank you for the content this morning. I do appreciate it.
No ship.
No ship. 7:42 at the MJ Morning Show. I would have loved to have seen this. A dude is rolling around Publix in a motorized wheelchair.
They don't go that fast.
He's just opening up food and just eating it on the roll and throwing the packages all over the place.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, this is something Fester would do. A DeLand man was arrested, caught eating a pack of shrimp at a Publix store in the Villages, according to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Arrest report shows that deputies responded to the store. Upon arrival, deputies discovered the man identified as Landriel Harris, 54, opening up a pack of shrimp and trying to throw away the package. An employee went and verified the discarded package was a Publix product. They continued watching him. He's just traveling around the whole store, just opening up food, eating food. He was on the shrimp now. Eventually stopped after trying to pass by the checkout lanes. Was turned back around. Would they corral the guy?
Yeah, they
Also,
just stood in front of the cart.
The manager, listen to this. The manager also discovered several sushi containers that were opened and discarded. A Snickers bar. The guy's just tooling around. Just motorized wheelchair. The question is, was it his own motorized wheelchair or was it the one that Publix supplies? You know, they got the motorized scooter that you can get at a lot of Publix stores.
You know, those carts with the big basket in the front, they don't move quickly at all.
Yeah, he had eaten around $45 in total, and just wasn't paying for anything. He was gonna just right out of the store. Harris was observed on camera placing items in his bag under 2 prescriptions that were purchased at the pharmacy. He was taken into custody and faces a charge of second-degree petty theft, held on a $7,500 bond. I don't know, just something funny about a guy, whizzing around the Publix, just opening up crap and throwing stuff away. I have, what time is it, 7:43? All right, I can do this before I get to my teased item. Coming up in just a moment, I have not heard of a bar doing this. I stumbled across an item in my Instagram feed, which I thought was very clever, and it has to do with people and behavior at a bar. And I had not heard of a bar having this type of a plan for certain patrons. Hold on, I'll get to this is really interesting. I'll get to it in a second. First, though, the 5 worst fast foods for your health. And experts say you should avoid these items at all costs. These are fast food items that, and this is not like generalities. This is specific stuff from specific fast food restaurants. According to Eat This, Not That, and they've been around for years.
I hate those people.
They've done.
Me too.
You hate them?
Yeah.
Oh, don't eat this. Eat that. Eat broccoli.
Hey, don't eat French fries.
Eat broccoli.
Yeah, it's everything.
Don't eat Twinkies.
Eat broccoli. That's the whole premise of the website.
What if I batter up my broccoli and fry it up good in some lard?
Dip it in some ranch or something.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so Eat This, Not That. They've done like Today Show segments for like years, haven't they?
Whatever.
Well, here it is. We have the latest list from some of your favorite fast food chains that they say you should steer clear of.
Now, are these nationwide? Like, do we have them all in the local area?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you coming at me with like stuff from like Jack in the Box.
Let's see.
Don't tell me about
5, yes. 4, yes. 3, yes. 2, yes. Every single one.
I mean, don't tell me about the churros at Del Taco.
No,
okay? I can't get that locally.
Or In-N-Out Burger, right?
Right.
How far west is In-N-Out now? Are they in Texas?
I think Texas.
Is that as far west as In-N-Out is going to get?
I think I heard they're might open in Nashville, but.
Oh, you know, I heard that as well. You're right. No, you know what? They might have. I'm sorry. How far? Thank you, Andrew.
How far east?
How far east are they going to come? Is what I should have said. I know all these places. All of them are right here in the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
So Eat This, Not That says avoid these at all costs. Coming in at number 5, Burger King's Bacon King.
Oh, shut up. That's fantastic.
The fat-filled burger has a whopping 6 salty slices of bacon on top, 2 patties, American cheese, ketchup, mayonnaise. The sodium amount in itself is enough of a reason to never even consider this burger as an option from ordering at BK.
It's possibly the finest of the fast food burgers.
The Bacon King?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on. How many Bacon Kings do you have a month?
A month? 4?
Really?
No, but listen, Burger King makes a good burger.
Number 4 on the list, the Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Triple.
Are these all bacon sandwiches?
Oh, that sounds like a freaking heart attack on a bun.
I feel like they're just anti-bacon.
Yeah. Oh, the double, triple, quadruple.
Listen to what they say. You might need to visit your doctor after consuming this Big Bacon Classic Triple from Wendy's because of how unhealthy it is. The burger tops the Bacon King with 3 burger patties, applewood smoked bacon, American cheese, lettuce, pickle, tomato, onion, ketchup, and mayo. 86 grams of fat, 36 grams of saturated fat.
How many grams of protein?
Enough said. It's by the way, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, but really, it
sounds delicious.
Also, can I just point out that it sounds like there's a whole salad on top of there? It doesn't cancel out the bacon.
Yes. The salad items cancel out the bacon.
Yeah.
If you deconstructed any of these sandwiches, it's a steak dinner.
Yes, thank you.
Number 3 on the list of the worst, most unhealthy fast foods available. Avoid at all costs. Number 3, Popeyes signature hot bone-in wings or Louisiana garlic bone-in wings. What could be wrong with some wings?
I don't know.
I mean, they're fried. I mean, I've never had the Popeyes garlic wings, but the spicy.
It might come as a surprise that the unhealthiest option from Popeyes is their bone-in fried wings. If you consume an order which only comes with 6 wings, you'll be consuming 94 or 98 grams of fat, depending on which sauce that you choose.
Whatever.
Wow. And, of course, Popeyes is Louisiana Kitchen. Where does Cajun Fester come in on this?
Let me tell you right now. I don't really love me some Popeyes. Louisiana Kitchen, I had a red bean and rice.
Was that your idea to have, like, the... with the dining room remodeling, to have the jars of like the beans and the spices in the glass jars? Was that your idea?
It was my mama's idea. She's a middle suggestion at the Popeye corporate office.
All right, number 2. Number 2, the McDonald's Big Breakfast with hotcakes. Oh, my God.
I mean, it's a breakfast with hotcakes. Yeah. A couple of pancakes, hotcakes, some scrambled eggs.
On the 5 worst foods for your health you should avoid at all costs, number 2 is the McDonald's Big Breakfast with hotcakes. I wouldn't think that would be on any... How's that worse than the Bacon King?
Oh, the carbohydrates in the pancakes plus the gristle in the sausage.
If you start your day with this McDonald's breakfast order, you'll be ingesting 158 grams of carbs, 68 grams of fat, and a shocking 2,070 milligrams of sodium. How the hell did they get that much salt inside this thing? And then, coming in at number 1. Eat This, Not That's worst fast foods for your health. Coming in at number 1. And this is kind of an unlikely. It's the DQ. It's Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's honey barbecue chicken strip basket. Apparently will murder you on the spot.
I didn't even know they sold this type of food. I thought Dairy Queen is like an ice cream place.
No. Dairy Queen has the grill. It's Dairy Queen,
DQ and grill.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't go there to eat anything like that.
So this weekend, we had this exact conversation. During the spring break, I took the kids to, have you been to an Andy's custard?
I love it. Yeah. Oh, what are you new?
Okay, well,
of course.
Andy's custard is new to me.
I'm waiting for them to build an Andy's near South Tampa. Right now, if we go to Andy's, we got to go to the one on Gulf to Bay, just to the west of US 19.
So
there's Andy's frozen custard is fantastic.
Yeah, I went to the one in Bloomingdale like 8 months ago.
Yeah. So there's one out there as well.
And they just opened one closer, although not terribly close to me, on 54.
Yeah.
So I took the kids and said, "Hey, we're going to Andy's." We do a little bit of a drive, and then I said, "This place is going to close down the DQ that's right across the street." And then my wife's like, "Who goes to Dairy Queen for the burgers?"
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Culver's because it's a burger place that serves custard, but Dairy Queen's always been ice cream centric.
Let me tell you right now, all three of the big national custard chains, I like them all.
Absolutely.
I think Culver's does a fantastic job. We have a Culver's right down the street. But Culver's has their butter burger, which is also a great product.
Have you ever had their fish sandwich?
I have not, but I hear that's supposed to be good as well. All right, so Culver's does a very good job, and Culver's custard is fantastic.
Oh, Michelle, you should get a fish sandwich covered in custard. It's fantastic.
Now, Andy's frozen custard, they're custard only. They don't do the food like Culver's. The other chain, which does food as well, and we don't have any of these here in the Tampa Bay area, is Freddy's. So look to see where the closest Freddy's frozen custard is. But Andrew says it might be Orlando.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him in Orlando.
We've got no Freddy's custards here in the Tampa Bay area yet, as far as I know. But Culver's, Andy's, and Freddy's, those are the big three franchise, and they all do a very good job. They all are very, very good.
We might have a couple in Manatee County.
Hey, we went to the Fred's buffet on Sunday, Michelle, and while heading back to I-4 to head back to Tampa from Plant City, they're building an Andy's on, what road was that?
You're asking?
Yeah.
Was it Thanota-Sassa?
Yeah, I think they're building an Andy's on Thanota-Sassa Road in Plant City.
The Plant City
exit? Yeah. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say eat this, not that. So it said don't go to Fred's Market. Because it's a buffet.
No. Oh, you got to have that buffet. All right, moving along now to my my teased item for 7:45 at 7:53. Okay. My apologies. I have never heard of a bar doing this, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's fantastic. Tell me, I'd love to grab calls on this. Has anyone heard of a bar doing this, or is this like some one-off concept that people are going to rip off left and right now? I saw an Instagram post of somebody holding up a card the size of a standard business card, and this particular bar called the Mountaineer Tavern. Can you look this? Tell me where the Mountaineer Tavern is.
Probably in West Virginia.
I don't know. But apparently, if somebody drinks too much and they're acting like a total putz, they're drunk, they're out of control.
I'll stand corrected. It's in North Carolina.
All right, so Mountaineer Tavern is in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
We name everything in this town after a mountain.
Do you know what they give patrons that might be showing signs of too much alcohol consumption and starting to cause a problem or having an issue? They hand the customer a card, again, size of a business card, and on the top it's got Mountaineer Tavern, it has their logo, and then it says, underlined in all caps, "You have been cut off. Please leave quietly and no one will know. It has been a pleasure to serve you, but it is time for you to leave for the night." I'm going to hold this up to MJTV right now. This is the card that if somebody, and it seems like maybe they overserved them, or if someone can't handle their alcohol, this is a way to like eject them without trying to cause a scene. Just handing them the card. Clearly, there's something in the behavior that You've been cut off. We're not giving you any more alcohol. There's something that's giving us the indication that you're potentially going to be a problem. So we're going to hand you this card. You've been cut off. Please leave quietly and no one will know. I've never heard of this. Have you ever heard of that before? Has anyone?
No.
Has anyone ever heard of a bar handing someone a card? You know, not having the bartender having to have a conversation that other people can hear, but handing them a card that you've been cut off. I've never. Now, listen, I'm not a bar fly. I don't hang out at tons of bars. I like to get schnitt-faced at home. No, I'm kidding.
You don't want to come to the Mountaineer Tavern?
Seriously, if anyone's ever heard of a bar doing this, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I think this is brilliant.
Is it brilliant, or is this like legally
tell you what.
covering their ass?
No,
for
I think
over-serving?
I think it's brilliant to get someone to leave without having an altercation.
I'm looking at the reviews right now,
Yeah.
and two of the lowest reviews that I've only read 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They complain about the card.
I got ejected.
They're They're complaining about how strict the bar is, and they were handed this stupid card. A friend of mine got cut off with a stupid card. The place is trash.
That's at a 1-star review on the Googles? Oh, man. Has any phones are ringing. Andrew, hurry up. Screen these suckers, would you please?
Spent a few $100 just for security to slide me this card. I was not drunk, but they didn't like the way I threw money and had all the women in the bar around me.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, reading some of these Google reviews are the best. You can entertain yourself for hours reading some of these Google reviews. Yeah. All right, 800-990-1047. Has anyone been to a bar that's done the same thing where they have a cutoff card? That they hand you a card, you've been cut off, leave quietly, no one will know. Now, like to avoid embarrassment.
Yeah, or what?
All right,
You throw a table?
800-990-1047 if you want to add to this. 800-990-1047. Austin in Apollo Beach is our first caller on this. Hey, Austin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning, MJ Morning Show.
Hey, what's up?
So I've been a bartender for a little over 6 years at times, and when I moved down here, I worked at this Irish pub, and people, it's an Irish pub. People would kind of drink their weight there, and whenever we had a situation where somebody would be potentially cut off, we would have a manager come over, and they would write it down on a piece of paper, like a little note, not a business card, professional like that. But I will say it is a good idea that they hand them like a business card, but it would be a better idea to put phone numbers for cabs on the back of that card.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, a rideshare company or
So,
something.
Austin, if you've been a bartender for 6 years, how do you typically cut somebody off? What is your go-to line, or how do you usually handle it?
So before I worked at that particular place, it was kind of up to us unless someone really got rowdy, but you'd really just try to be as professional as possible about it, without trying to upset people because, with alcohol, tempers can flare really easily if you're trying to control someone's drinking situation because everyone's adults and is supposed to act like an adult, but that typically is not the case when you're cutting somebody off.
Austin, thanks for the call, buddy. I appreciate it from a professional bartender. Let me grab Michelle in Temple Terrace. Michelle, MJ Morning Show, go.
Hey, thanks. Love you guys. I was a bartender for many years, and I used to use, there's a little tiny spout on top of your pourer that will actually stop the free pour. So when people started looking a little tipsy, I just start pouring soda into their cup. And no, I wouldn't charge them for liquor, but you just take the spout and you wipe your finger around the rim with the rum or whatever you're pouring them, and they think they're having a strong drink because they're a little tipsy. And I've sobered people up that way, including my friends when I've just been out and on the other side of the bar.
Well, all right, so you kind of trick them, but you don't charge them because they're not getting the alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. You ever hear of the card? You ever hear of the cutoff card?
I've never heard of the card, but it's been many years since I was a bartender, so that's probably a new thing.
Michelle, thanks for the call. All right, one more on this, maybe. Eric Wesley Chapel. Eric, MJ Morning Show, you're on.
Good morning, guys. MJ, no offense, you got the completely wrong take on this.
All right.
This is 100%. I've never worked in a bar before, but this is 100% a measure done to mitigate their legal exposure in the event that this liquored up individual goes out and causes an accident. They probably just got sued for some sort of dram shop.
Wait, hold on. What are you, a lawyer?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
Okay. Eric, when we first brought it up, Eric, I thought, but they overserved this guy. Then they give you a card as like a CYA. Yeah, it's not going to cut it, right?
It certainly does help. I think it's a subsequent remedial measure in effort to show a court that, yes, this person may have been overserved, but we provided them this card, and anything that happens after that point, we're cut off legally from any sort of exposure. That's 100% the reason why, not because they're doing the patron a good service by politely letting them know that they have been they've been cut off.
Man, you sound like a bright guy, and hey, maybe one day we ought to sit down and have a dram. I love the way you use I love the way you use dram in the opening.
Dram.
Yeah, great. Have a dram of whiskey or something. Hey, buddy, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Sounded like a lawyer, didn't he? Michelle's shaking her head. My lawyer wife in the studio. All right, hold on. One more, last call. Angelo, Lake Wales. Angelo, MJ Morning Show. Last call on this. Go.
Good morning, MJ. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. I mean, I'm surprised that they don't go further and offer to get them a car to make sure that they don't have exposure. They're throwing somebody out. They're not even offering to assist. You're admitting that the guy's had too much to drink, and you're like, okay, get out of here.
Yeah, so I wonder if this maybe exposes them to even more liability.
To Eric's point earlier, Angela's right.
Get in your car and get the hell out of here.
We got you drunk. We took all of your money. Now get the hell out.
Yeah,
right. And not offer to get a car. That doesn't sound professional to me.
Angelo, that's a very good point. Thank you, Angelo. Lake Wales, thanks. Appreciate the call. Look at that. All right, 8:02. It is the MJ Morning Show. It's Q105, 104.7 FM. You're in the middle of over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. We do it every single morning. No music, no commercials, just nonstop content. This happened while we were, oh my God. This happened while we were on spring break. Did you see the guy that drove his car through a CarMax in California because they didn't offer him enough for his used car?
I did not.
Fester, that is a yes or no. Yes, yes or no. Did you see?
I feel like in the last month I've seen several videos of people smashing their cars in the car places.
There was a guy that drove a Subaru through a dealership.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We've got a whole different story here from Inglewood, California, that's the L.A. area.
Oh, that's where the guy drove completely in and then
he
did like a U-turn and drove out. Yes, I saw that. Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
At least 8 people were hurt. This happened like the week after, this happened the week we went on spring break. So this is like March 9th, 10th, whatever. So at least 8 people were hurt. A driver smashed his vehicle into a CarMax store after a dispute. The crash occurred about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a Saturday at a CarMax dealership on South La Cienega Boulevard at Manchester Avenue. No, not far from the Forum and the SoFi, right? SoFi Arena, right?
Yeah.
I just flew over that damn thing on the way to L.A. to go to the Philippines. We did the approach where we flew right over the old, Forum and the Staples, the whole SoFi, that whole area. We just flew literally right. I looked out the window, I'm like looking at the SoFi deal.
Did the pilot say, if you look out your window, you'll see the CarMax that was just driven through by some idiot?
He did not. But apparently this happened at CarMax. The customer who had his vehicle appraised, because, at CarMax, they'll buy your car, even if you don't buy from them. If you want to sell CarMax your car,
they'll buy anything.
They'll buy your vehicle.
They'll put a number on it.
You might like the number they give you. You might not like the number they give you. This guy apparently did not like the number that they gave him, because then he drove his car through the freaking dealership and started just smashing things. Drove into the whole showroom and starts bashing into stuff. 8 people hurt, at least. Video of the aftermath was all over social media. Showed a damaged SUV backing into the building. Employees running out. The vehicle pivoted in the lobby area, drove out of the opposite end of the building. It's like the Blues Brothers. The suspect drove off but was caught and arrested about a mile down the road. According to the L.A. County Fire Department, 2 people were critically injured and 6 others sustained minor injuries. Witnesses said the man was offended over what CarMax offered for his car. He then attacked an employee. Cops said they're using videos as part of their investigation. We suddenly saw a fighting. It was really loud. Everyone was kind of worried. Security tried to stop the guy, said a witness by the name of Sim Wang. Dude's name is Sim Wang. Hey, Wang, what's with the pictures? It's a parking lot. So, bang, glass crashing everywhere, people shouting. I actually saw the car run over several people.
Is that from Wang? Wang said bang?
Yes, Wang said bang. Bang, ding, ow. One sales representative got run over. His hand got crushed by the car. I was there. It was close to me. I was 2 or 5 steps close to me. I was shouting, move out, move out. Another man witnessed the whole mayhem. I seen him arguing. Actually, you saw him arguing.
Nope, she's seen it.
I seen him arguing. I wasn't paying attention, so then he backed up, came this way, then backed up, made a big U-turn, and rammed it not once but twice. Crunching sounds. This guy says, I'm a vet. Whenever I hear a boom, I take cover. What the hell? Suspect's identity was not released, according to this report, but I'm sure it's out there now. The CarMax showroom was wrecked. People were injured, some critically. This is the audio. I mean, people will get that incensed if they don't get offered the value of the car that the value that they think they should get for their car.
I mean, they give you the car back. I mean, you could just leave. You know?
Oh my!
What are they going to offer him for the car now? I mean, did he prove his point?
It's worth substantially less.
Listen. Come on. This is the mayhem. I mean, this is insane. Oh my God. Yeah, the video's online if you want to find it. Just search CarMax LA, and customer goes berserk inside. Yeah, the car is worth less now. So if he was unhappy with the number that CarMax offered him, it's even less now with all the body damage. That is crazy.
Did the CarMax employee give him like that really smug, nope, no haggle pricing? That's it. Take it or leave it. Oh, you got a little scratch there.
Fester, you want to rename Davis Islands, right?
I mean, after I saw this story, it only seems appropriate.
Fester wants to rename the hoity-toity community of Davis Islands
to Diarrhea Islands.
Or
Dookie Islands.
What about Dookie Islands?
Dump Islands.
So apparently Davis Island smells like a feces fest.
I mean, so many things. We could keep the D on the sign.
Mm-hmm.
I know some very snobby people that live on Davis Islands.
Yeah, full of.
They think that they think that their bleep doesn't stink, but guess what? It really does now.
It really does.
I'm sorry. So what's going on? There's apparently a horrific putrid sewage smell that's overtaken Davis Islands.
That's awful.
This is a report from Channel 8. Neighbors on Davis Island said they're tired of holding their noses in their breath. A strong sewage smell has taken over the area, and families say it's getting worse. City leaders said they know it smells. They believe it ties to illegal dumping at the wastewater facility. Wait a minute, what? Like, that's a municipal facility. What illegal dumping is happening at a wastewater facility plant?
Unless it's done by somebody who works there.
I mean, that's what I didn't understand. How is it not a protected drop zone?
Hey, I got 20,000 gallons of raw feces to dump. Who has that?
I don't feel like pushing the button to process this wastewater. I'm just going to dump it on Davis Island's water.
Hey, boss, I need to leave early on Tuesday. We gotta get rid of all this feces water.
Listen, I always thought that the Davis Islands water, I thought it's kind of like, that's the back end of Old Hillsborough. That's kind of junk water to begin with. Come on. The good water's on the Tampa Bay side. Come on.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the good water, folks.
It's all crap water.
Yeah. Eric Weiss, the wastewater department's director, confirmed the odor is coming from the wastewater treatment plant. Well, then fix it.
Well, somebody got to shut this valve off.
What we think is that we have trucks that haul in wastewater to the plant that aren't connected to the wastewater system.
Huh?
This is all under your purview.
What? Are they dropping it in the ground?
Fix the freaking problem. This doesn't sound like fixed. I don't want people on David, all kidding aside, in my comments, my facetious joking comments about Davis Islands. Listen, they don't deserve to have like a feces fest going on.
I'm going to rename the airport to Peter O'Crap.
The Feces State Fair going on on Davis Islands? What the? Just fix it. What the? Come on. Unbelievable. All right, so Michelle's watching March Madness last night, and you saw Juju's injury, right?
Terrible.
So last night, the women played, right? It was.
Is Juju Jewish by any chance? Just curious.
You know, that's everywhere. Did you read that in the comments
No, I
of any
didn't.
article?
I did not.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Everybody's like, is she Jewish?
No, but so it's Juju, right?
Yeah.
Juju Watkins?
So
yes.
she plays for
The red team.
USC?
Yes.
Yeah.
She
USC
plays for
star?
no, she plays for the Condoms.
Yeah, so Michelle's she's watching the Lady Trojans games last night, the game last night, and Michelle says, yeah, I'm watching the condom game. I'm like, what?
All right, so there's two USCs, and
Yeah.
condom is an appropriate joke for both of them.
All right, well, USC, the Trojans are the University of Southern California.
Right.
But also USC could be the University of South Carolina.
I mean, Gamecocks. Come on, people.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, put your Trojan on the Gamecocks? Is that what you're saying?
Good one, Fester. Good one.
That chicken's going to fight his way out of that.
Look at you.
But
anyway,
look at this. When you look her up, man, she is some seriously accomplished, and everybody's waiting to see her play. Obviously, I think they're picked. I don't know if they're picked to go all the way, but I think pretty
is she
close
a guard?
to it.
Is she she might be a guard. So she tore like an MCL or ACL?
I think they said it was an ACL.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw her go down, and you know these athletes are so in tune with their bodies. They've seen other athletes get injured. The minute she goes down and grabs that knee, I think everybody knows it's ACL or MCL. It is serious because she's in pain.
Tell you what,
and,
they ought to fly in Dr. Seth Gasser.
Yeah.
To fix her ACL. That's the dude you want.
I mean, it's heartbreaking to watch because, she is in pain. You can see all of that happening, but also that, the team has to go on and play.
Did you see the play, MJ?
I saw the replay,
Yeah,
so I didn't see it actually happen. So she kind of tripped over her own foot.
Well, she got the other girl. She got called. She got a foul.
I know, but she tripped over. It was like a little body contact, but she did trip under. Oh, I don't think her foot got tangled with the other girl.
It wasn't a malicious
No.
It was just a play.
Yeah.
It was just it was guarding the goal. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one additional thing with the whole March Madness thing going on, and I commented on this yesterday that I had not seen this before, where the NCAA, they're running a commercial which is asking people not to bully athletes if you lose a bet on one of the games, and this apparently is a problem. That the athletes are getting bullied to the point where the NCAA, they're running a commercial during March Madness.
There's losing, and then there's being the loser. Game time comes with enough pressure. Way too often, people are betting on sports, losing, and taking it out on the athletes. Only a loser would harass college athletes after losing a bet.
Wow.
But it happens almost every day. Root for your team. Get crazy when the buzzer sounds. But don't harass anyone because you lost a bet. It's time we draw the line and put an end to the abuse. Brought to you by the NCAA.
So they're running this commercial incessantly during March Madness. And guess what? No sooner had I commented yesterday, man, I've never seen this before. Athletes are getting, you put money on a game and then they single out one of the players that maybe had a play that caused the team to lose or didn't perform well.
Yeah.
Listen to this. St. John's, Long Island's, Queens technically, right? St. John's is Queens. So St. John's R.J. Lewis scrubs his entire Instagram after disgusting trolling over March Madness debacle. Now, I don't know who he is, but right on the heels of the NCAA running this commercial, the Instagram page of St. John's star R.J. Lewis Jr. has been scrubbed following the team's second-round ouster to Arkansas in the NCAA tournament, as online trolls have seemingly targeted the 6'7" guard over Saturday's poor showing. Look at that.
Every one of these players, young men, young women playing in this madness, you can find them. They all have Facebook pages. They all have Instagram pages. They all have TikToks.
Here's an example. They're running the ad now telling people not to harass and abuse the players for a loss. And here's a story of this guy from St. John's, R.J. Louise. He's getting nailed already.
Well, he missed a couple of shots.
Yeah.
And I think St. John's was supposed to continue.
Yeah, St. John's is one of the favorites in the tournament.
Oh, Fester, by the way, moving along.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put your dwarf verse, I put it up on my Instagram.
The midget wheelchair video?
I don't think we can. Midget is not acceptable.
I'm sorry, the little person, handicapped person?
I put dwarf. All right, so Fester, where exactly were, this is insane. Where were you again?
It was a park in Tampa. It's called Les Miller Park.
And this is a new park?
I guess it's a old park with a new playground.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
So
where is Les Miller Park?
I've never been there before. Last week when I took the kids,
Right.
It's near King High School.
Okay.
Over, I guess, kind of near the casino area.
And you're just in the park and you witness a dwarf racing a guy in a wheelchair.
They have a new sectioned off playground for kids of all abilities.
Yeah.
And then they have a water splash pad, all fenced off, all super safe. So the kids are in there. And I'm kind of just walking the perimeter, keeping my eye on everybody. And there's a couple of dudes in the park. So, of course, I keep my eye on the dudes. And one of them's in a wheelchair. Okay, no big deal. And then another one comes up to him, and he's a little person. Again, no big deal. And then I see him line up. And it was the guy in the wheelchair who was the barker. He's like, "Are you Mark? Get set, go!"
And then it's like a 3-foot dwarf running a race against the guy in a wheelchair. And I'm like, what is going on here? The video is on my Instagram. Fester sent me the video. I posted it on Certified MJ Radio. I also it's also on MJ Morning Show on Instagram. So go to Certified MJ Radio. We don't have a backstory here. We have no idea what's going on. I even captioned it, what's happening here? The race. Dwarf versus man in wheelchair in Tampa.
And I'll say the dwarf smoked him.
Oh, yeah, the dwarf. And he's got the really short kind of stubby legs, and you can tell that he's kind of bow-legged, but he really did smoke the guy in the wheelchair.
If he had normal legs,
hey, yeah, Major, I hope you do feel good about smoking the guy in the wheelchair. Mr. Dwarf.
I'm sure the dwarf does. I probably wouldn't.
But Fester, what is the backstory here?
No backstory.
This is a mystery. How does a dwarf and a guy in a wheelchair end up in a race in a park in Tampa?
So I'm not prepared for this, because who's ever prepared to see a dwarf and a guy in a wheelchair race each other? So I hear "Are you Mark? Get set, go!" And I see it, and it happens. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I gotta get my phone." Nobody's gonna. If I told you this happened, you wouldn't believe me.
So Fester, you were able to get your phone going, and
so
you
I missed
recorded
it the first time. This is the second race.
Oh, you missed the whole first race.
I missed the first race, and I hated my life.
This was the second heat.
Yeah, best of 3.
Well, what happened in the first race?
The dwarf won the first race. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the funniest thing. Nobody's ever going to believe that I saw this.
God.
You would have called me a liar till.
Right.
And then they square up again, and I'm like, this is it. I got to get it. And it's the greatest video I've ever shot in my whole life.
It's the first item on my Instagram right now, Certified MJ Radio. Take a look at the dwarf and the wheelchair race. And it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. If you don't follow me, give me a follow. I'm still trying to hit 25,000. I'm almost there. Also, so I didn't talk about this yesterday because we had so much crap going on, but I've got a bunch of videos from my Philippines vacation, my 2 weeks of scuba diving. Oh, the wedding proposal. On one of our last dives, one of the people on one of the couples on our boat, it was an Israeli couple. And he's actually a professional scuba instructor. She's a dive master. He proposed to her underwater, 40 feet down, whips out a ring. We were told about it. She was in the dark. So if you want to see a marriage proposal 40 feet below the Sulu Sea in the Philippines, near the North Atoll of Tubataha. Look at the video. I mean, a kiss underwater, pulls the ring out, puts the ring on her finger, all at 40 feet underwater. It was amazing. So that video is on my Instagram. I've got sharks. The octopus video. I put a shell in front of an octopus, and he keeps taking his tentacle. He takes his arm and keeps moving the shell out of the front of his little house.
Yeah, you're pissing him off.
I put it back, and he moves it again. I put it back, he moves it again.
You're lucky this octopus didn't just slatch onto your face.
It's like MJ's octopus teacher here. If you want to see an amazing octopus video, this was a night dive at the Anilao Pier before I got to Tubataha. At 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, we're doing a night dive. And this octopus is remarkable. Anyway, I've got a couple of sharks. I've got the electric clam. Have you ever seen an electric clam? Zzz, with like the arcing electricity? Tons of stuff. A seahorse, a humongous seahorse.
The electric clam is a great name for like an adult establishment.
The electric clam. Anyway, a lot of good stuff underwater from my vacation and just some other things, including, the guy on the ladder. So we're in Puerto Princesa, just before we're supposed to get on our liveaboard for the next week on the Sulu Sea.
I don't see how this is even a remotely good idea.
Fester, describe the video, because you know exactly what I'm talking about here. There's another video that's not scuba related from the Philippines. Are you telling me that the electric company this guy works for approves of this?
Does he work for the electric company, or is he just some guy?
No, he had an electric company van. He had the Puerto Princesa Philippines Electric Company van or something. And first of all, look at that wiring bird's nest. I mean, how is that up to code? There are all these wires coming off of this power line and the transformers. It looks like the biggest freaking fire safety hazard I've ever seen. And then the guy is just leaning the ladder up against the lines.
I mean, I've always heard there's a lot of tension on those lines and they can support some weight.
Yeah.
But I never thought of putting a ladder against
But no helmet, no harness. I mean, no say. I roll this from the beginning. You got to hear my commentary on this. And then the guy gives me a really nasty look. Here, listen to this. Roll it. And play it. Hit it. Hey, it's MJ. I know a couple of Tico linemen back home in Tampa. I want to get their opinion of this. What do you think? Is this safe? Then I say to him, what is that, 220, 221? Whatever it takes. Excellent. He's coming down the ladder. Oh, he's coming down to punch me.
Yeah, no kidding. Last thing you want to get is punched by a Filipino.
Take that lineman. All right, so take a look at all the videos, the underwater stuff, the above water stuff on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That is Certified MJ Radio. All right, a couple of appliance items here. It is time for appliance talk on the MJ Morning Show.
Like dishwashers and refrigerators and washing machines and
how
stuff?
about air fryers and coffee makers?
Oh, like countertop appliances.
Right.
Okay.
What do experts say you should never, ever cook in your air fryer? Could be a huge fire hazard.
Pop-Tarts.
Like popcorn.
That's what I was going to guess, popcorn.
Well, why didn't you guess it? Open your mouth.
You're playing
Because
sound
you're playing
effects.
sound effects.
I mean,
All right.
Yeah. Give me a chance.
Experts are warning that air fryers are not to be used for popcorn. Stick with the microwave.
I mean, what happens is the popcorn bounces up, I guess, and it hits the heating element.
Popcorn does not cook well in the air fryer. Most models won't reach the required temperature to pop the kernels. Kernels can be a fire hazard if they get stuck in the air fryer components.
That's what I was thinking.
I wonder how many air fryer kitchen fires there have been. So, warning, the second appliance, coffee maker. Your workplace coffee maker may be putting you at risk for a heart attack. What the hell?
I feel that way about the coffee maker here.
Let me tell you right now that I have no need for the coffee maker here because I don't drink coffee.
But Fester does.
Occasionally, I'll have a cup of tea, maybe once or twice a month. I'll decide, you know what? I would have some breakfast tea. And I'll just get the hot water out of the dispenser, and I'll just drop in a tea bag, and, that's it.
So I will say, for as budget cutty as this place is.
As budget cutty?
This place, you know, if there's a budget to be cut,
okay,
snip, snip.
Yeah.
But they do have a pretty good coffee. So I mean, we have like Cafe Bustelo every morning.
Oh,
right? I think
yeah.
it's a pretty good.
That's a good quality
dark
one.
coffee, you know. So we have pretty good coffee around here.
A new study out of Sweden suggests that your office coffee may be bad for your heart. So researchers analyzed coffee samples from 14 workplace machines and found that the office coffee may contain higher levels of cafestol and kawiol, compounds known to elevate LDL cholesterol.
How?
I
What's
don't
going on
know.
here?
How would that be any different than like going to Mocha Joe's or something?
The filtering process is crucial for the presence of these cholesterol-elevating substances in coffee, said David Igman, the researcher who led the study. Obviously, not all coffee machines manage to filter them out. So how do you know if your coffee machine is filtering out these bad chemicals that could jack up your heart?
When Herb in accounting dies at his desk, maybe that's a sign.
An investigation will be done.
All right, so
And the first thing they're going to look at is the coffee maker.
Well, somebody check the coffee maker.
warning on that. Holy crap. Hey, what about 23andMe? This is a big problem. 23andMe, the DNA testing company, and, you know, the whole novelty of, you know, your ancestry. The big companies like Ancestry.com.
And 23andMe.
And 23andMe.
It's not big companies like there's 10 of them, there's 2 of them.
So 23andMe has just filed for bankruptcy, and now there's huge concern. What's going to happen to all of the data? All the people that submitted their spit samples and, you know, all the genealogy, all of the DNA.
Well, if you'd read the contract, you would know what's going to happen with your data.
What's going to happen?
They're going to sell it to a pharmaceutical company.
Well, that was part of the business model, and apparently it did not pay off like it was supposed to. So listen to this. 23andMe filed for bankruptcy. What does it mean to you if you did 23andMe and they've got your DNA on file? So this is from Yahoo Finance. The genetic testing and information company 23andMe announced on March 23rd that it had filed for bankruptcy after years of financial struggles and data privacy concerns. Filing for bankruptcy will allow the company to facilitate a sale process to maximize the value of its business, 23andMe said in a statement. In the press release, 23andMe said it intends to continue operating its business in the ordinary course, but you have... like, for instance, I think it's the AG in California is telling people, delete all of your data now.
Yeah.
Because you have a way to go on to 23andMe's website, and you can delete all of your data, allegedly. I wonder, and that's another question. If you delete the data, is it really getting deleted?
Okay, so here, I did read an article about this.
Okay.
That when the contract that says, like, if something happens to 23andMe, they're going to sell your stuff to some pharmaceutical company or, you know, medical research, yada, yada, yada. That data, the way it is stored and going to be sold, does not have, like, your name attached to the, the test that they did on you.
So it's just like just statistical information.
Right,
it's not like,
exactly.
Michelle in Tampa is this much Irish and this much Dutch and whatever.
And also the health test that they were able to determine, or whatever the response is, it doesn't tell
packages.
you.
They have just the Ancestry package.
Right.
Then they have Ancestry and Health.
Yeah.
Then they have like a premium, like recurring package. Then they have a 23andMe total health plan where I guess they do like a whole workup for $500.
Like what you're like predisposed to have or whatever, like health-wise. So here's the deal. Delete your DNA from 23andMe right now, according to the California Attorney General, Rob Bonta, issued an unusual privacy consumer alert. Delete your data now. I want to remind Californians to consider invoking their rights and directing 23andMe to delete their data and destroy any samples of genetic material held by the company. And if you go on to Google, you know, there are a bunch of stories out there. All you got to do is just do a Google search or Bing it or DuckDuckGo it. How to delete your 23andMe data. It's all out there. And if you did do 23andMe, you can delete it. Now, full disclosure from me, MJ, here on the MJ Morning Show.
Dude, you'd never do stuff like this.
I did it.
Shut up.
Hold on a minute.
I would never peg you for
I
doing
know.
this.
I know, right?
Hold on a minute. you wouldn't peg me for doing it in the normal fashion. But here's what I did.
What, you gave a fecal sample or something? What does this tell you guys?
I pooped on the swab. No, no, listen.
This sounds like everything you stand against.
Exactly.
You're right. That's why I did this a certain way. I'm being honest.
Okay, what?
You get honesty from me here on the MJ Morning Show. I would never typically do something like that, and I did not do it in the conventional fashion. Okay? On my Schnit show, I had a big buy. So 23andMe bought an advertising campaign on the Schnit show. It was a pretty valuable campaign. And so they bought commercials where I was doing, an endorsement spot for 23andMe and this and that. So this is probably, probably 6 or 7 years ago. We're up in New York, and I'm doing the Schnit show. I'm doing, mornings on WOR New York as well. So I'm doing the endorsement thing. I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll do this, but I'm not going to use my real name. I'm not going to use an email address tied to me. So I did this whole extensive thing. So I use a proxy server to get some crazy like Yahoo email address. I submit the sample as I think it was like Harry Clinkmore or something. I did some crazy name, not my email address, so my name was not attached to the sample.
Was everything through email?
Well,
or did they mail you like a report?
Yeah,
or something?
they have to mail you the kit and all that stuff. I didn't even use their return label. I just mailed it with my own label in case there was a tracker on that, and I just made sure there was nothing. So I used this phony email address. But it was an actual email address, but it was not traceable to me to get the results and everything. And then when they started having some issues, Michelle, how long ago did I delete the data? Like a couple of years ago?
Before we came back to Tampa, I think.
I deleted the data like even before they had trouble. So I deleted the data like maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, we got to close the Clinkmore account.
the Harry Clinkmore account. So I did it. But I don't believe it's even remotely traceable to me.
What did it tell you? I've never done anything like this.
Oh, it just told me, like, where my ancestors are from, and I'm of Eastern European descent. I've talked about this. I'm like 25% Hungarian. I'm like 25% Polish, 25% German, and like 25% Russian.
And 25% difficult to get along with.
Yes.
That would be 125%.
Mix those four together, and you get a pretty difficult person.
Yeah, so go ahead and delete your data. I did it a long time ago, so I feel pretty confident that it was totally deleted and gone, I think.
And not your name.
Listen, they can have Harry Clinkmore all they want on the client roster, as far as I'm concerned.
Hungarian, Russian, German, and Polish.
But listen, there are a lot of privacy concerns, and there are like 15 million customers of 23andMe.
You mix those four together, Michelle, you get a very difficult person who can't put in a light bulb.
All right. Whatever happened to Polish jokes?
They were the best.
They're gone.
The best.
Well, they just disappeared overnight.
Gone.
Whatever happened to Polish jokes?
I had so many of them, too.
So speaking of DNA.
The answer is 5.
Right.
5. 1 to hold the light bulb and 4 to move the chair.
Yeah, twist the chair. I get it. All right, so speaking of DNA, man, this is creepy. This woman does a DNA test and I guess compares it. This, let's see, from sweethearts to siblings. You hear that? From sweethearts to siblings. Victoria Hill was in disbelief discovering that her boyfriend was actually her brother. Oh, my God. You've been doing your brother? Holy.
We seem so alike. We have so much in common.
So this is
we even look alike.
This is a mom of 2 from Connecticut, and it turns out this mind-boggling thing about what they discovered. The boyfriend sent the screenshot, had a notification from my phone and 23andMe that you have a new half-sibling, and then it turned out, what are the odds of that? The boyfriend turned out to be her half-brother.
You hear these horror stories about, your mom or dad being a floozy around town. I guess it'd be dad,
no,
right?
That's not how it happened.
What, was somebody like a donor? Was it a sperm bank?
Yes.
Dude, what about that doctor?
It's 23andMe in my story.
No, but what I'm saying is they're related because of the donation.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because of
I was thinking, okay, when you said When you said somebody discovering their half brother, I was thinking about like Joey B's dad, who had like a completely different family
No,
3
apparently,
towns over.
Was it a sperm donor?
Right.
That a donor was the donor for both.
Right.
The male sperm
Then
donor.
the woman
Yeah.
remembered that her parents had,
Yeah.
sought the services of a sperm bank to, have her. And then they now she's discovered, I think, multiple siblings out there.
Yeah, but she's dating one of
I
them.
know. Well,
Okay.
look, if you're in a small town or if you're, in a small
That's-
area and people stay local, you run the risk, I
What
guess.
about that creepy doctor out there who has
Yeah.
like 2,000
Oh.
children or something because of his
Yeah.
sample?
Hey, so Michelle and I were leaving the show yesterday, heading to Tampa to do our workout at X-Force Body.
Yes.
Okay.
And suddenly the traffic backs up. I'm like, the traffic doesn't usually back up. Around the West Shore area, doesn't usually back up. Just past the the turnoff up to the Veterans Expressway and toward the airport, and the traffic's getting all backed up. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Then I see like the FHP flashing blue lights up ahead, and both sides are crawling. There's a big box truck flipped over in the median, and like the whole top and side ripped off. And all the contents on the ground.
I took Gandhi yesterday.
You didn't see this?
Nah, I had to go visit my friend Damien, the mechanic.
Yeah, a truck flipped over in the median southbound. This was in the median strip of 275 South yesterday, and traffic was just molasses in both directions. We were able to get by fairly quickly. We got to our workout in time. Turns out the Florida Highway Patrol said the crash occurred when a vehicle cut off another vehicle. A 47-year-old man from Land O'Lakes swerved to avoid a collision, then hit the truck. The truck flipped over and like ripped open the whole side of the truck.
I mean, some of those trucks are top heavy.
And it was a pink truck too. I mean, you couldn't miss this damn thing. I got some video as I passed by. I didn't post it. Maybe I should go ahead and post it. The truck was hot pink and said Waistline Solutions on the side. I meant to Google that. Can you tell me what Waistline Solutions? It sounds like it's a weight loss clinic.
Is it waste as in your body waste?
No, it's waste.
Waste as in garbage?
No, it's waste as in what Davis Island smells like right now.
Right.
WAST, Waistline Solutions. What do they do? Yeah, look, pink trucks.
Waistline Solutions is your
Waste and Compliance Solutions.
Looks like they get rid of material.
Oh, they got dump trucks and all. Yeah, so one of their trucks flipped over. And you couldn't miss this accident. It was hot freaking pink. 275. It was about like 10 a.m. yesterday.
Located in St. Pete,
Yeah.
Tarpon Springs.
Guess what? They're down a truck in the fleet right now.
That sucks.
Well, I hope their driver. Should we call them up? Yeah, contact them. Let's see if.
What do we want to call them up for? How the
let's see if we
driver's
can
doing?
get the CEO on the phone. See how things are going over there. Maybe not.
1-866-WASTE-FL.
All right, I don't think we need to call him. Maybe you're right. All right. So we got a couple of airline aircraft related stories. And you know how I'm a total aviation geek, dweeb, loser.
Haven't heard that before.
No. Anyway, if I weren't on the radio, I might have pursued a career in aviation.
Yeah,
I would have been a great pilot.
You've been a great ticket booth agent.
I would.
What at the airport parking garage?
We're not working the counter.
Okay. All right. So
weighing bags.
All right, first of all, this is awful. A passenger gets into an argument with the the gate people.
That'd be a great job for you too.
Apparently, the gate people said, "Nope, your dog's too big for the carrier." The passenger then apparently appears to fold the dog in half to get it into the carrier virtually. In order to bring your dog onto a flight, airlines require that the dog meet certain requirements, breed, size, weight, but your dog has to fit comfortably in the carrier. So there's only a certain size dog that's going to fit in the underseat carrier. The airlines have totally cracked down on all those bogus emotional support dogs. You don't see them hardly at all. You see service dogs. There is nothing wrong with a bona fide real service dog assisting somebody with a medical problem. If they're blind, I fully support a real service dog. In fact, I've been in a row where the dog's on the floor next to me. And that's fine. It's assisting, and that's a real deal. But all of the scam artists that didn't want to pay to, bring their dog on the airplane, or if their dog was too big to go in a carrier, or they didn't want to put the dog underneath the plane, the whole emotional support dog thing and other animals was out of control for years until they started really cracking down on this, about 3-4 years ago? And you hardly see all the bogus emotional support dogs on these planes anymore. But listen to this. A video's popped up online, a woman arguing with the gate agent at the airport that her pup can fit into the carrier. The gate agent is saying, no, your dog is too big. And this is difficult to watch. There's a video, and the woman is stuffing the dog into the carrier. I mean, virtually like folding the dog in half to cram it into the carrier. An airport employee approached the dog owner and told her that she has to have a carrier that the dog can fit in. That's when the woman unzips a tiny pink carrier, plops her dog, who is clearly too big to fit inside, shoves its head down in order to successfully zip it closed. The dog is wedged in there like a sausage, way too big. The employee is heard on the video saying you can't fly like that. The dog has to be able to move in a full circle, which she cannot do. They go back and forth. They're arguing. Do you have the audio?
I don't know. I typed in dog carrier video airline carrier, and I got a bunch of different things that popped up. So I don't know if
I don't know if we need the audio is not that great.
You can just get these certificates online.
I just want to see the dog. What certificate?
As a service dog.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you can.
No, you have to have.
No, yes, you can.
I
I know somebody who did it.
Listen, but the airlines have cracked down.
No,
so
you have a certificate, and you get to use it, and you go to the airport or however you.
But that was Michelle. That was the old racket where people were buying like phony emotional
Right here.
support certificates
Okay.
online.
You know what? I'll get one for the two we have at home, and we'll see.
So you're saying there's still a way to game the system if you don't really have a real service animal?
All right, so I'm so glad we're talking about this because I bought a service animal vest for my new dog.
No, you didn't.
MJ, only for hotel use. Only for hotel use.
Oh, my, you're the worst.
But Allison bought 5 of them. If you call her,
You have 5 different vests?
She bought 5 of them from Amazon. She returned 4. We had to
What,
try
to
them
see
on.
which one fit the best?
Yeah. And then,
Which one was most fashionable?
Well, they were all fashionable. They were red with, little Velcro patches on them. And,
But which one worked the best on her?
Oh, my.
yeah. And we bought one that said, like...
It's the scam family.
Yeah, well, only for hotels. Again, and we found out, we looked this up at dinner one night, hotels can't legally ask you to produce any supporting documents.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a HIPAA violation or something. They can't ask you.
Interesting.
What are they going to not deny me my disability?
I mean, MJ, I'm looking at a website right now, service dog registration.
Yeah.
I can order up 5 certificates if you want.
In Florida, while you can obtain optional service dog accessories like vests and cards, you are not legally required to register or certify a service dog or provide documentation with its training or status.
Anyway, the video ends, but it doesn't appear like the airport employee allowed the woman to board with this dog crammed
Well, I should hope not.
into this carrier, which is way too small. Then, listen to this. A captain declares an emergency. All new story here. It wasn't the lady with the dog, and it's a whole different story. A flight from Kansas City, Missouri to Phoenix, or maybe it was Kansas City, Kansas. Where's the airport? Is the airport in Kansas? I think the airport's actually in Kansas, right?
I don't know.
I think the Kansas City airport's actually on the Kansas side. Anyway, so a flight from Kansas City to Phoenix was diverted when a passenger, this is ridiculous, a passenger kept flicking their lighter. On board, they kept flicking their lighter on the flight and wouldn't stop. A flight attendant tried to confiscate the lighter, and the passenger would not give up the lighter. The passenger kept flicking their Bic during the whole damn flight. So the crew declared an emergency after explaining to the passenger that if he didn't turn the lighter over, they'd have no choice but to divert the flight and land the airplane.
All right, land it. Let's go to Kansas City.
On arrival, law enforcement removed the passenger from the aircraft, transported him to an area hospital for a medical evaluation. I mean, was this guy all messed up in the head that wouldn't stop flicking his Bic on the airplane?
It seems like a pretty deranged person to be doing that in the first place.
You know, some passengers were wondering, well, how the lighter got through a security checkpoint, but passengers are allowed to bring a single lighter with them. You know, not in the Philippines. I saw someone that had a lighter confiscated at a checkpoint in Manila a couple of days ago.
Hold on, TSA lets lighters through? I had no idea.
A single lighter can get through.
You know, I guess I've seen smoking areas.
Yeah.
You know, past the checkpoint.
Oh, you're right. You're right. At Tampa, I think they have like an enclosed glass smoking area or something.
Oh, they have the cancer cube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You meet the nicest people.
Yes, you do in the Smoker's Cube at Tampa International Airport. Oh, boy, it's fantastic. Oh, yes. Anybody have a spare Camel with no filter? Yeah, so this guy wouldn't. So they had to land the flight. They had to do an emergency landing because the guy wouldn't stop flicking his bick. All right, and then man, this would be, can you imagine this? A flight has to turn around because the United Airlines pilot on an international destination forgot his passport.
I saw this. How do you do that?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine? This happened on Saturday, March 22nd, so last weekend. A United Airlines flight 198 scheduled to operate from Los Angeles to Shanghai in China. The flight was being flown by a Boeing 787-9. 6,485-mile flight was set to depart at 1:45 p.m. and arrive at 6:35 p.m. The following day because, you cross the date line. 13 to 14-hour flight. The flight took off at 2:01, more or less on schedule. For an hour 45 minutes, the jet flew westbound over the Pacific. At some point during the portion of flight, one of the four pilots realized that they didn't have their passport on them. And the result, they had to divert. The plane made a U-turn and flew to San Francisco, which was a bit closer than Los Angeles.
To drop them off?
I
mean, see you, bro. We can't take you.
You got to be kidding me. And on certain flights of certain lengths, you got to have the main crew, then you have a relief crew.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can only fly a certain number of hours. So you have, for a lot of these overseas flights, you have a spare crew. And they alternate. Holy crap.
So he could not have landed without
No.
a passport?
Well, no passport, so he would have been in trouble then getting back into the United States.
What if he just stayed on the plane, like slept in the alley or something?
Well, they have that sleeping zone up above.
What if he flew there, landed, then took a seat, and the new crew of pilots came on? It doesn't seem like they needed to turn around.
UA 198, San Francisco to PVG, Shanghai. Your flight diverted to San Francisco due to an unexpected crew-related issue requiring a new crew. Once they arrive, we'll get you back on your way to Shanghai as soon as possible. We sincerely apologize for the disruption and appreciate your patience. That was the United statement. Passengers were given a $15 meal voucher while the airline worked on finding a new crew. Man, the other pilots must be pissed because, that they make a lot of money for flying those routes. And suddenly they lost the trip.
Can I just ask,
Yes?
what is $15 going to buy you in an airport?
A bottle of water.
What's it going to buy you anywhere?
That might buy me brownie bites.
It'll buy you some Stacy's chips.
Yeah.
All right. So, of all the countries in the world, is China the one you want to land in?
With no passport?
With no passport.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if it was like,
certainly one of them.
A more friendly country.
Yeah, but
Russia.
man, you know what a mistake? do you know the cost of that mistake?
Yeah.
The jet fuel and just unbelievable mistake. I mean, how does a pilot forget their passport? How is that not like the same as having your head screwed on your shoulders? Having your passport for an international flight. That is insane. I got to turn it around. Almost 2 hours over the Pacific. You had to go back because the pilot forgot his passport. That is unfreaking believable. Oh, guess what American Airlines is doing now? At least some gate agents are doing this. If you try to board, and this is American Airlines, we heard about American Airlines doing the whole crackdown on gate lice, which, by the way, that whole gate lice term has been kind of co-opted. The original description, the original definition of gate lice are the people that just hover at the gate, even though they might be boarding group 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all crammed around the lane to get in. Like, oh, my God, there's not going to be space on the plane for me. So gate lice That term was initiated by the people that cluster right at the opening where you board in the line, right? Or get in the line to board. And it's sort of been changed now. People are starting to call gate lice the people that try to board outside of their boarding group. So you're in group number. For instance, I'm coming back from L.A. on late Saturday night. I got a red eye coming back from the Philippines. I land at LAX at about 8 o'clock on Saturday night. I have a 9:55 Delta to Atlanta flight. And I'm in boarding group number 3, and a guy's ahead of me. He's in boarding group number 8. And tries to board, and they turn him. Yeah, they try. The last boarding group, this guy tries to board in group 3, and they turn him away. But at American is experimenting. We told you this story a couple of weeks back or a month or so, that American has like some kind of a new alert system where it makes a big noise if you try to board out of sequence. It starts like, wailing at you. It's like, loser. So here's what's going on. Some agents, if you try to board out of order on American, and here's a story, gate agents ask passengers to step aside until their group is called. But one agent working a full flight out of Dallas-Fort Worth announced that any passenger trying to board before their group will be forced to gate check their bag. That their carry-on is going to be gate checked. So that's like, is that approved by American Airlines?
I mean, it's a good deterrent because that's the number one reason to get on as soon as you can, to be sure your bag gets on.
Right, exactly.
That is a deterrent. Oh, and then on the accident front and all the problems, the Southwest flight trying to take off from Orlando on the taxiway instead of the actual active runway. We have that story. We have the Delta plane that flipped over at Toronto. Turns out it was the first officer that was flying that plane, not the captain, who was a trainer on that particular CRJ.
So they got an F on that training, right?
But listen to this. It turns out that aircraft, it hit the ground at a sink rate or a descent rate twice as hard as what's considered a hard landing. So a hard landing is 600 feet per minute. The pilot was coming down at nearly 1,200 feet per minute.
That seems like a lot.
600 feet per minute is considered a hard landing when you touch down. They were doing almost double that. So the gear collapsed, and then the thing, catches a wing, flips over. Miraculously, everyone survived. But that's a little update on that. And then a couple of things. How much time do I? All right, I got to do this quickly because we're way overboard. I'm way over on. We're well over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. But a couple of Southwest stories. So you realize that bags are not going to fly free on Southwest any longer.
Yeah.
Oh, starting when?
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
No, it starts in. I believe it starts in May.
That sucks.
Yeah, I believe it might be May.
We all knew it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, but that was such a selling point for them that bags fly free on Southwest. But, the other airlines are making billions of dollars in checked bag fees.
Well, now Southwest also doesn't have their open seating anymore. Now they're just essentially every other airline. Except not nice.
And that's going to take effect, I think, next year. Southwest is going to go to 9 boarding groups and getting rid of the open seat policy. So a lot of free. Southwest is not really Southwest anymore, is it?
No.
Yeah. All right. That comes to a close right now. Over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. The 9 o'clock hour is almost here, and there's a lot of stuff going on. The spring break update from Miami, still kind of out of control, even with all the deterrents. Oh, the OnlyFans model fetish disaster. Holy crap. Oh, you got to hear this one. An OnlyFans model, a fetish disaster, a guy is dead.
We just gave it away.
While trying to, no.
Oh, no, what's the fetish? You didn't give that away.
While trying to video something for OnlyFans content. All right, you got to hear this crap. It's all next and a whole lot more on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. It is 9:01. It is the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105, 104.7 FM. And the 9 o'clock hour is here. And there is never a slowdown in content. It's not like we put all our crappy stuff in the last hour. No. The quality is maintained throughout the MJ Morning Show. And I will demonstrate right now with the craziest OnlyFans fetish story you've ever heard. This is I've already revealed this on numerous occasions. I've never been on OnlyFans. We've talked about it. I'm fully aware, I think, of what goes on there. We've talked about numerous stories over the years. I just have an interest to go on to OnlyFans. It's just not my cup of tea. All right.
All right. Fine.
Listen to this. Fetish session kills a Southern California man, and an OnlyFans model's been charged with murder.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Dale lay in a plastic bag with saran wrap and duct tape sealed around his head. Michaela Rylersdam sat next to him with a vibrator and a cell phone filming content for OnlyFans. They wrapped the guy. What are you laughing at? You think it's funny? Guy died. He suffocated with saran wrap. Who's this guy laughing up and down the hallway here?
Listen.
Someone's walking by.
Yeah.
It's our midday dude.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now this adult entertainer, mother of three, charged with murder. What the hell? This is unbelievable. The guy was some kind of, is that a fetish to be wrapped in saran wrap and suffocated?
It's suffocated to the point of death, no, but.
Well, generally suffocated means death.
Well, I think there's like.
Is there a way to get suffocated and not die? Is there a way to get electrocuted and not die?
I mean, I'm sure.
Doesn't technically electrocuted mean that you're dead?
Or just receiving a shock.
Yeah.
But not a lethal shock would still be electrified.
Apparently, some people have a mummy fetish.
Yeah.
And she was selling content of guys being like wrapped up in saran wrap like a transparent mummy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard of people who get their jollies off of depriving themselves of air.
Oh my, but wait a minute, this gets even more bizarre.
Yeah.
So this guy, Michael Dale, dies, saran wrap duct tape sealed around his head. He's like partially in a plastic bag as well. This happened in April of 2023, but I guess she's been charged finally, or maybe it's going to court now because the story's coming back around. And Dale, 56, paid this woman, Rylersdam, 29, more than $11,000 to come to his Escondido, California home and perform these BDSM acts, according to the arrest warrant affidavit filed by the Escondido Police Department. So that's fresh. That's why the story's new now again. When she arrived at 6 p.m., Dale appeared intoxicated, but nevertheless, she proceeded to spend several hours engaging in fetish acts. Dale had several extreme, unusual requests. He wanted her to wrap him up like a mummy in saran wrap. He wanted her to gorilla glue a pair of women's boots to his feet.
That's hot.
She obliged. What the hell?
Why can't she just say he did this all to himself?
But
because his hands were bound.
Investigators concluded there was no evidence that he ever requested Rylosdam to place a bag over his head and secure it, which eventually caused him to suffocate and die. She was finally arrested on, this happened in 23, but she was arrested on February 19th of this year.
Listen, you give her a good lawyer, she gets off on this. No,
She remains in a detention facility in San Diego County where she's being held without bail. When police and fire personnel arrived at the scene of the incident, they found Dale unconscious, and she was trying to perform CPR according to the affidavit. You know what? I like a good bondage and discipline. What do they call those women? They're called dominatrix. I like a good dominatrix that knows CPR.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a qualification. CPR certified, just in case.
Here's my Red Cross card. Yeah. Detectives found several troubling videos on her cell phone. Dale struggling to breathe, including some taken minutes before she finally dialed 911. Oh, my God. He had duct tape over his mouth, a plastic bag over his head, more saran wrap around that, then duct tape wrapped around his face, his head.
The guy got exactly what he wanted.
No.
I don't think he wanted to die.
Yeah, but you pay somebody to come over to tie you up and deprive you of air. That is a occupational hazard. I mean, this is...
Hey, Michelle. I want you to wrap me in saran wrap during tomorrow's show.
Gross.
I'm going to go get some saran wrap.
No.
I'm gonna, we've got some of that great value. I like that stuff. The great value plastic wrap, that's great.
Not bad.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love the little cutter on there and everything. That's why I tend to buy that. I'm not buying like the brand name saran wrap these days. I buy the great value Walmart stuff.
So,
we've got a couple of those in the pantry. I'm gonna have you wrap me up live on tomorrow's show on MJTV.
No, I'm
Michelle.
not doing that.
That is my fetish. That's gonna make me all hot.
I'll do it.
Having you wrap me up.
I'll wrap you up. I mean, whatever, bro.
To Fester's point, consent is not like a defense to homicide, by the way.
What's that song by Madonna? I'm going to
dress you up in my love.
Oh, I thought I was going to wrap you up in my love.
Yeah.
Going to wrap you up in my love.
So no, it'd be saran wrap.
What song is that? Is that
Dress You Up?
Dress You Up.
It's Dress You Up. Yeah. Going to wrap you up with my love. Going to wrap you up with saran wrap.
I mean, Fester, if you said, "Hey, Michelle, I want you to kill me. It's turning me on. Go get a gun," and I did it.
No,
I couldn't say, "Well, I was just doing what he told me to do," when he consented.
Okay, well, what if you're having like this kind of fetishy role play where you're pushing a boundary, although you're not exactly trying to kill the guy, but he accidentally dies? Give her a super. It's a manslaughter sentence, and give her something super light. Give her a year of probation.
Really?
Allison, check his phone.
Yeah.
Check his computer.
Yeah. What are you surfing for? What's in your wallet? Oh, man.
I self-asphyxiate by not chewing food well.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Andrew. Somebody sent me a note that Michelle singing Tina Turner is posted. Did you post that from yesterday's? So it's on. But
so the whole clip is up. But we're looking for like the 30-second long clip of Michelle singing.
Yeah. We ought to turn that. We ought to just truncate the video, because people, man, if you miss this. We did instant karaoke yesterday on the show, and this is not some new goofy segment here on the MJ Morning Show.
Thank you.
Although I do have a good idea.
No.
If you missed this on yesterday's show, we were doing a story about a local issue. This was at some Pinellas County bar. The karaoke machine broke. This guy got pissed off and attacked people and then fired a gun. This happened recently in Pinellas County, seriously, because the karaoke machine was broken. So we morphed into this concept where I just said, hey, Andrew, go ahead and just pick a bunch of random 80s songs, get a couple of karaoke tracks. Don't let us know what they are. So based on the guy and the shooting at the karaoke deal up in Pinellas, just grab some random 80s hits, karaoke tracks, and just start playing them. And then Michelle goes first, Fester second. I think I went third. And we have no idea this is like mystery karaoke. We have no idea what's coming. Zero idea. Because Andrew picked these things, and then we had to just start singing. And hopefully we knew the song and the lyrics. And I've got a confession to make. I surprisingly don't know a lot of the lyrics to. I mean, I know all the songs, and I have a very amazing recollection and memory. I can tell you the year, I can tell you the artist, I can tell you the song title.
You know what they call that?
I can a lot of what
on the spectrum.
Okay, great. Also, I see colors when I hear music. Is that another? Is that another thing?
I think so.
Is that another thing? All right. So Andrew starts playing the songs, and then one of them was Michelle. Andrew, did you pull the ramp up? Or Andrew, did you pull the ramp up, or is it just still the same clip in here? All right. So here's the deal. So Michelle just blew people away with this. And Michelle pretty much knew the words right off the bat. And Michelle had no idea this song was coming.
You must understand with the touch of my hand that my pulse reacts.
Look at this.
Wow.
This is great. Look at this.
It was only the thrill. Opposites attract. It's physical.
Oh, my God.
Only logical.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with
This is incredible.
What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Oh, my God. I mean, it's not that Michelle has a great singing voice, but the fact that you just jumped in and knew virtually all the words, I thought it was very impressive.
Very, very impressive.
It's as if you don't know me.
Yeah. What was that?
It's as if you don't know me. I know like almost every lyric to every song that you could possibly, besides the two that I don't like.
And again.
And also I'm into, sports.
So Michelle went first, and I said, Andrew, play some random track. We had no idea. And that's what hit. And then you knew right away what song it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been just like, dun, 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 dun.
All right, listen.
Oh, yeah.
And you came in exactly on time?
All right.
You must understand with the...
That's impressive. So listen, we don't do a lot of goofy, like stilted, games here on the MJ Morning Show, but that might be a decent game to play amongst ourselves, or even have listeners call in.
I think it'd be hard with listeners listening over a phone line trying to hit them.
It's mystery karaoke that you have no idea what song is coming up.
I think that's a good one-off for me.
Just a one-off?
Yeah,
All
I mean, I really felt pressured.
Hey, guess how Airlines can save $100 million a year?
Oh, I saw this. Fester, I don't know how this is even remotely possible.
What, to add another row or something, or shake the seat up a little bit more?
Eliminate something.
Airlines can save $100 million a year.
By eliminating toilet paper or something?
You're very close. Yep.
What?
If everyone would go to the bathroom before boarding the flight.
I completely agree. I understand. I don't board a flight.
But sometimes you don't have to go when you're boarding, or if you're outside of the gate and there's a restroom nearby, sometimes you don't have to go. Sometimes if you're into an hour and a half into a 3-hour flight, then maybe you have to go, or they have beverage service on board and you're then you'll have to go on board. Listen to this.
I do everything I can to evacuate as much as I can out of my system before I board a flight.
Me
Every
too.
time.
I'm with you.
Yeah. How many times did you go on your trip to Kung Pao or wherever you went?
What?
When you took a really long flight to some...
I flew... I didn't go to Kung Pao. I went to Kung Pao Chicken?
No, you went to Pao, Philippines, right? Was it PP something, right?
I went to Palawan.
Okay, Palawan.
First, I was at south of Manila for a week. I was 2.5 hours south of Manila in Anilao.
Okay, I just care about the flight.
In Batangas. And then the second week, I was in the Sulu Sea, and we had to fly to Palawan, Puerto Princesa.
But the question is...
Palawan, Puerto Princesa. That's what I'm thinking of. So, from your flight from Tampa to arriving finally in the Philippines, how many times did you go?
I don't know.
3?
3,
More.
4. Listen.
He's an old man now.
Dude, I flew from Tampa to Houston, Houston to L.A., L.A. to Taipei, Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan to Manila. Then I had to fly from Manila to Puerto Princesa, Puerto Princesa back to Manila, Manila back to Taipei, Taipei back to L.A., L.A. to Atlanta, Atlanta to Tampa.
Did you use the potty on each and every flight that you were on?
I mean, maybe not the Atlanta to Tampa one.
I don't think I did anything on the way home.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
So instead of them trying to save the money, maybe they could make it like one of those bathrooms in San Francisco where you're charged, so you have to like pay $1.
Listen to the calculations here. Listen. If every passenger remembered to go to the bathroom before boarding, shedding an average of 0.2 liters of urine, the airline would save $2.66 in fuel per flight.
Oh.
With about 40 million commercial flights a year, that's roughly a $100 million issue.
This is as stupid as the time I heard.
So it's not about saving the bathroom stuff. It's about fuel.
Less capacity.
Right.
It's the weight. Listen. Also, airlines putting in seats that weigh less. Or even, do you know how much weight, when you fully paint an aircraft, do you know how much weight that is? It's like thousands of pounds in paint that go on an airplane. So that's why for years, American Airlines flew those planes that were silver. And they saved a lot of money in weight of paint. With just like, they had the lines. They had like the red, white, and blue lines down the side. But the main fuselage color of American Airlines for decades was that silver natural aluminum. So.
I remember hearing once like some airline figured out that if they removed one olive from the salad, they'd save like $250,000.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Just the expenses.
Weight means fuel consumption. If you can cut it back, then you could save a whole lot of money. Well, all right. A lot of stuff to get to in the final, 34 minutes of the MJ Morning Show here on a Tuesday. You know when they say, be very, excuse me. You know when they say, be very, very careful in picking up a hitchhiker?
Yeah, they do say that, don't they? Yeah.
Is that what you said to our daughter?
A driver offers a guy a ride to Sebring from Avon Park.
That's pretty close, right?
Turns into a terrifying ordeal. The driver almost died, according to the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, this is a public service against picking up like hitchhikers or offering rides to people you don't know. This happened early Saturday morning. This is like a nightmare. What was that movie? It was an old movie called The Hitchhiker. Then it was remade. The Hitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was they remade The Hitcher. Mm-hmm. Remember we were driving in New Mexico and they were filming the remake. Remember that?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Michelle and I, we were driving with the kids. We had a road trip out west. We were outside of Albuquerque on one of those. I think we took the high desert road, right? And literally we stumbled across them shooting the movie The Hitcher.
And what did you do?
I don't know what I do.
You pulled your camera out and were clicking it like frantically as we were driving by, and they were all trying to block you from taking the pictures.
Oh, they don't want
whoever they were filming.
Yeah, they were shooting a car scene on the road for the remake of The Hitcher.
Yeah,
it's like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, whatever it was.
More.
Maybe more. So this happened early Saturday morning. Victim driving on Main Street in Avon Park told investigators that he recognized the man walking along the side of the road, 29-year-old Joshua Yamir Torres, stopped to offer him a ride. They then began traveling on State Road 17 towards Sebring. However, at some point during the ride, things became violent. Torres is believed to have pulled out a pistol and struck the victim in the face, enough to break his nose.
Wow.
He then instructed the driver to take him to a secluded spot near Basket Lake, where officials said Torres forced the victim out of the vehicle. Investigators said that Torres demanded that the victim strip down and get on his knees, then took the firearm and put it against the victim's head. Torres pulled the trigger, but the gun didn't go off. And this is a guy that he recognized? I mean,
yeah,
you can't even pick up people you recognize these days, let alone just hitchers.
Just when you think you know somebody.
Yeah, really.
Oh, my God. This is like a nightmare scenario. He then tried to re-rack the firearm, but before he could pull the trigger again, the victim fought back, was able to escape into the orange groves.
So this guy's running naked through the orange groves.
God, this is a movie, man. The sheriff's office said Torres took off with the man's car, which was later found abandoned in Avon Park.
All right, so MJ, some guy's holding you up during a hitchhiking.
God.
Gone wrong.
I'm not picking up a hitchhiker. How about that?
Maybe something happens and you're in some scenario where it happens. How do you not wrap your car around a telephone pole on their side?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think there's
something else to do.
Something else to do than get naked in an orange grove. I mean, there's got to be another way to. If we're gonna go right now.
Hey, Michelle, tell me about this story that you mentioned to me last night about America is done with this fake meat.
What, like the Impossible meat? Like
the
Impossible Burger?
Yeah. So, Michelle.
We're back to meat eating. Everybody loves meat. We're eating burgers. McDonald's and Burger King have dispensed with their fake burger meat, despite, everybody knowing to some extent that you shouldn't be eating, as much red meat. But we are a country of meat eaters, and that's it. Yeah.
So essentially, the whole fake meat experiment has failed.
Well, yes.
What, you read this online?
Yeah.
You read a story.
I think it was in the Atlantic.
I've never eaten one piece of Impossible Burger meat or anything like that. I've never had it.
You know what? Either have I.
Yes, you have.
What?
Don't lie.
Well,
he's not lying.
Hold on.
We used to buy the kids Boca burgers all the time, which is a veggie burger.
Oh, and what? But but not like the Boca burger was not really the same as the Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
See that whole
Boca Burger never gave me the impression. I've had a Boca Burger. They never gave me the impression they were trying to trick me into thinking I was eating meat.
Right.
Yes.
I knew I was eating a veggie patty, and it was what it was.
The whole Impossible Burger thing, it just turned me off. It was just unappealing. It's like, what am I chewing on? Some kind of rubber.
Well, apparently it tasted like ass.
I want an ass burger.
Listen.
I mean, honestly. But yeah, nobody, we're not interested in it.
I got ass burgers.
Well, go to the supermarket, MJ, and find the Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
And it's super cryovac. If you rub it, if you touch it, it feels really hard and not like something you'd want to ingest.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Michelle read this story and she's trying to tell me that the whole plant-based, the Impossible, that whole trend is dying on the vine. Yeah.
Yep.
And that people just do not have an interest for it. All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. A lot to cram into the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. Bottom line is, I don't give you a bunch of crap to fill up time toward the end of the show. It's nonstop, amazing content all the way to the very bitter end of this program, and that'll be next. Hey, which states might you not be able to order and buy Skittles in? I shouldn't say order, but buy Skittles. Mm-hmm. Is Florida on the list of states that could outlaw Skittles? We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Also, there is a big warning from the FBI regarding Tesla. So I've got a number of Tesla stories here. And there's a lot of issues with Tesla dealerships, and I've got some very poignant things to say next. Among whatever else I can cram in. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Stand by. It is 9:29 at the MJ Morning Show. So you hung up on the caller? Some guy calls in and apparently had a story about some other morning show that was trying to recruit him to listen to them instead of us.
Okay.
And Fester said, all right, let me talk to him. This is during the commercial break. And Fester goes to pick him up, and like, what do your fat fingers like hung up on his line?
Either he hung up,
All right.
or I'm not that good at working the phone system.
All right.
Both of which are completely fine.
Whoever just called us to say that you're an MJ Morning Show loyal listener and that another morning show somehow had contact with him and they tried to get him to leave us and go to them. Apparently, what the hell? Anyway, if Fester hung up on you, I apologize, and please keep listening. What the hell are you playing, Fester?
I don't want to talk about this now. I want to give this the appropriate time.
Oh, my God.
Listen, first of all, she's an amazingly talented baker.
Is this a fetish deal?
No, it's just it's a cooking site. It's called
This is a lady that bakes cakes and sits on them?
Cakes on cakes.
What?
I don't want to talk about this now. I sent this to you yesterday.
I didn't see this.
Okay, well, it was in your message.
How'd you send it to me?
Like if I see a video on Instagram that I think you'd like, I hit this arrow here, right?
I didn't get that.
And then your face pops up and I click it.
Oh, I didn't get it. Yeah, it must be in my direct messages.
Yeah,
I didn't get to that one yet.
I don't know how to send you
Oh,
stuff.
my God. All right, so make sure we talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah, I love her. I
This
watch every one of her videos.
lady makes a cake and then she sits on cakes?
Okay, she makes top tier bakery level
Oh, my
cakes.
God. These cakes are amazing.
Yeah, and then she sits on them.
Oh, my God.
I love her. I love her.
All right.
I've watched every
All
one
right.
of them.
Hang on. The caller's back.
Okay.
Hey, caller, did you hang up, James, or did Fester hang up on you?
No, that was me. That was accidentally me. Because, it's James. We had spoke before, me, you and Fester. I drive CDL trucks anyways. So I had text you on Instagram about the leak in the backyard, the busted hose.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So anyways, good morning, Fester. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, MJ.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So by Monday through Friday, I drive CDL trucks. That's what I do. But Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I work at the gas station out in Oldsmar, the Rebel. So I'm in there doing my norm. I'm doing my thing. So this guy comes in, tall guy. So he's like, hey, what morning show do you listen to? I'm like, MJ, certified. I'm a certified MJ fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that's my
baby.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, MJ is not hip. Like I'm hip. So I'm like, well, who are you? He's like, I'm Joe. I'm like,
Oh my God! Wait a sec. Hold on. This guy. Hold on. Hold on. This guy Joe tries to from my old station. The guy tries to tell you that I'm not hip and you should listen to him.
Yes, he's like, oh, my name is Joe. So I'm like, okay, who is Joe?
Oh my God!
93,
Well, hopefully you did not get suckered into this blatant attempt.
MJ, I never even met you, and I love you, bro. You're my guy. You and Fester, you're my guy.
Thank you.
Like I'm telling him, so I got into a whole rap with him because I'm like, bro, I've been listening to MJ since I was in the backseat with my mother and my father
There you
listening
go.
to the Crossing Old Man tapes.
Yep.
Like I'm never trading on MJ. Like that's my guy. But he's like, nah, he's not hip. Like, you need to come over to 93.3 and we talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, no. So he's like, let me get your phone. Let me get you an Instagram, da-da-da. So as he's trying to do the Instagram, I'm like, no, bro. So I pull up certified Instagram. Bro.
All right, let me tell you right now. Listen, I don't want to disparage anybody, but this show is, I mean,
hold on.
universes ahead of
Hold
that
on.
program.
Let's keep
Man,
everything.
like There's nobody out there better than my Fester, my MJ, Roxanne, and Froggy is gone now, but we have the beautiful Michelle back, or well, not back, but here. So we're good. We're good. We're
Awesome.
golden. I'm never leaving.
Well, thanks. Listen, you know what that was? That's like a little kid being like trying to taunted to come into like a strange van.
Yeah.
That's what this.
Yeah.
That's what this is like. This is like this guy Joe tries to like lure this listener,
abduct our listener,
like a listener abduction.
Hey.
Well, listen, thank you for running away and pepper spraying him.
Hey.
I appreciate that.
Hey.
I would have called you. I would have called you 2 weeks ago, but you guys was on vacation. But anyways, love you, MJ. Love you, Pastor. Love you, Michelle. You have a great day.
That was like a lure job. Thank you, my friend.
Well, you know what? I like what he said, though.
What?
He's a certified MJ Morning Show listener.
Yes.
Like, that's what we need to start.
Thank you.
A little club.
Listen, no hate to Joe for trying to recruit people to listen to the show. I mean, that's what we try to do, too, around here. But, sorry, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, listen, I tell things the way they are.
Yeah.
That show cannot hold a candle to what we do. I've heard people say that it's unlistenable, but that's a whole different story. All right. Listen, I'm an honest guy.
I've heard people say.
I'm an honest guy over here.
I know people.
All right. So the Tesla pile today.
Yeah, go ahead. You going to talk about Tesla terrorism?
A couple of things. Yes. All right. First of all, am I a Tesla fan? No. Am I an Elon Musk fan? I am not. But in no way would I want anyone to vandalize a Tesla vehicle. That is criminal. It's against the law. Don't do it. Don't harass Tesla drivers. If drivers or people have an issue with Tesla, then you don't buy them. And there are a lot of people that own Teslas now that are trying to get rid of them. There's a lot of things going on right now. I don't want to get political here.
If anybody's trying to get rid of a 2020 S, call your boy.
All right. Call Fester
Yeah.
at 813-310-8444. Hey, the used prices on Teslas are plummeting.
Sinking. I love it.
They're fire sales, and we're not even talking about the batteries catching on fire.
Or the people burning down the dealerships.
Yes. All right. So, folks, in no way should you vandalize a Tesla, harass a Tesla driver. But here's the deal. The FBI is warning Americans to exercise vigilance at Tesla dealerships after multiple arsons. The Federal Bureau of Investigation released a public service announcement warning Americans to look out for people who might try to target.
Yes. Let's call these people what they are, domestic terrorists.
Tesla properties and vehicles amid a rash of arsons, vandalism, and protests against the brand. I do not vandalize a dealership. Do not vandalize someone's Tesla. I mean, just knock it off. Cut the crap. But now the FBI's got to warn people to be vigilant when you go to a Tesla dealership so you're not the victim of some wacko.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like Tesla, if you don't like Elon Musk, then you have an opportunity. Don't buy one, but don't vandalize. I would never support any vandalism or any destructive criminal behavior. And if you're caught, you ought to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. The way I vote against Tesla is I don't want an electric car at this point. I mean, I'm ICE all the way. And that's not Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's internal combustion engine.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
I'm ICE. I'm going to get an ICE jacket. And that stands for internal combustion engine, folks.
I just somehow feel like right now we need to clarify what ICE means.
I'm going to walk around with an ICE jacket. You can buy them on Amazon, I think. You can buy ICE jackets. Yeah. Internal combustion engine, not Immigration and Customs Enforcement. But listen, the FBI has got to put out a vigilance warning. Exercise caution and vigilance when visiting Tesla dealerships.
I wonder if there's more security like at the dealership in Tampa. I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hey, there was a story over in Palm Beach. A guy drove his car into protesters outside of a Tesla dealership. He was arrested. He's facing assault. So that's the other side of the coin. Here's a guy that's pro-Tesla, I guess, pro-Elon, and this guy tries to run over people that are protesting at a Tesla dealership over in West Palm.
All right, so people protesting is something I support.
First Amendment rights.
People burning down dealerships.
Hey, lawful assembly, okay.
Absolutely.
Arsonating dealerships, not okay.
No, or mowing down people who are lawfully
Right.
Assembling.
By the way, arsonating should be a word. It's great.
You know what? It really should be.
Yes. And then I know several people with the Cybertrucks. Did you see like panels are just flying off the truck that they're glued on with like Elmers?
I can't believe this.
There are multiple stories of like the whole front, like 8-foot stainless steel front of the car just flying off. Side panels just fall, and people are like, it's held on with glue. And it's not even the stuff out of the Blues Brothers, where that glue was strong stuff.
Is it like Gorilla Glue or anything?
I don't know what it is. I think it's like the paste that kids were eating in first grade when I was in school.
Did they call old Phil Swift and put some Flex Seal on it?
Hey, we'll fix. Hey, it's Phil Swift. We'll fix all of your falling apart Teslas with Flex Seal. Flex Seal.
Well, Flex
That's
tape.
right.
Remember Flex
tape? Flex Seal. Yeah, exactly.
We cut the Cybertruck in half.
Hey, have they found that reckless boater that was doing donuts in the Hillsborough River? Did you see this video? This is insane. The Florida Fish and Wildlife folks, they're looking for this reckless boater. Did they finally catch? I saw video, and I don't know what the
boater caught speeding.
Did they catch him?
17 hours ago.
Boater caught speeding on Hillsborough River in slow speed zone as boating safety reaches floor. So March 20. That was yesterday. Someone sent me video of this guy doing donuts, and I hadn't heard whether law enforcement had found this guy yet.
You're not like, especially through downtown. Most of the river. I think all the rivers a slow speed zone,
Yeah, but
right?
some guy was doing donuts and like driving fast and going in circles and like churning things up. That's horrific. Oh no, she's at it again.
Who's she?
Remember the Without Walls folks? Oh God, holy crap.
What's her name? I forgot her name.
Paula White.
Yeah, Paula.
Yeah. The Reverend Paula White, they had that whole Without Wall. Remember her and her husband, and they had a falling out. And remember there was a whole expose on them. They had like a $4 million house on the Bay Shore in South Tampa.
With a lot of walls.
Yeah. So they had that Without Walls church on Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, that turned out to be a thing, man. That was... I always knew that there's some shady stuff going on there, in my opinion. Anyway, so she had a divorce from her husband. They fled. She fled town. Now her name is Paula White Cane. She got to walk around with a white cane, like a Cab Calloway Minnie the Moocher cane, like from.
That could be your thing.
A white cane.
That could be a new look.
So her name is Pastor Paula White Cane now, and listen to this racket. She's promising that if donors send her $1,000 before Easter, that she'll direct God to be an enemy of your enemies.
What?
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing the story. Who falls for this crap?
Well, you can't do that.
My God, who believes that she's going to tell God to be the enemy of your enemies if you send her $1,000?
That goes against everything that, I think most religions preach.
You're either on the list or against it.
No.
Yeah,
God accepts everybody. He's not going to do anything against somebody just because you manifest it somehow. Also with money, by the way.
We've got audio. I'm not making this up. Listen to this.
And I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th at sundown through Good Friday on the 18th and concluding on Easter Sunday, you can receive these 7 supernatural blessings for you and your house. According to Exodus 23, God will assign an angel to you. He'll be an enemy to your enemies. He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away from you. He will give you long life. He'll bring increase in inheritance, and he'll give a special year of blessing. You're not doing this to get something, but you're doing it in honor to God, realizing what you can receive.
For your special Passover offering of $1,000 or more as the Holy Spirit leads, you will also receive the beautiful 10-inch Waterford Crystal Cross. Don't miss your moment to release 7 supernatural blessings and provision into your life.
Send her $1,000 for the special blessing. Oh my God, who's falling for this crap?
I mean, it really does sound like a good deal.
She was in South Tampa. They were the Without Walls folks, and they had issues. And essentially, did they get run out of town or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know the whole story.
Oh my God! And now what? Are they in Texas now?
Well, it's not they. I don't. She looks like she's by herself, or who's married now to somebody else.
Yeah, I think she's in Texas now. But you send $1,000 to Orlando. Oh man, what a racket! I just hate to see people taken. I hate to see religion abused.
But I would
in my opinion,
I would like to see her walking with a white cane, just as an accessory, as a fashion accessory. I don't want her to use a cane.
Pastor Paula White cane.
I don't wish that on
That's
her. But
she walks around with a white cane,
like Mr. Peanut.
Should she have a limp? She should get a monocle.
Yeah,
get a white monocle as well, and a white cane.
Yeah,
Paula White. Now Paula White -cane needs a white cane and a matching white monocle.
Yeah,
and a top hat. I mean, a white top hat.
Embrace the whole look.
Do you like nuts?
Ooh. Good for her.
No, not good for her.
I mean, if she gets a white cane,
she gets a white cane and then white top hat and a
she gets a
monocle.
whole
Good for
new
her.
look. I mean, she's into reinventing herself.
This is obnoxious. This is taking advantage of people. The people that get suckered into religious donations for $1,000.
I'd rather
we'll have God go after your enemies. I mean, what are they talking about?
I literally would rather give $1,000 to Paula Dean.
Yeah.
Of all the Paulas out there.
Make me a couch-sized sausage bake or something, you know?
She would.
Wow. With gravy. Unbelievable. Oh, and in 2016, Paula White cane sold a rock for $1,144, which she called the resurrection seed.
Okay.
Is that like the resurrection stone in Harry Potter? What the hell? So, but we can't get away from her. I mean, she's not, the without walls, they're not in the Tampa Bay area any longer. I'm sure we can have people call up and tell us stories about it. So she's out doing crap elsewhere.
Yeah, I really don't know that much about the group.
Hey, look up. Speaking of the heavens, look up to the heavens on March 27th. You know what's going to happen?
Well, you get a clear shot of Uranus.
No.
A champagne supernova in the
sky. Yeah. So there's like this big celestial event happening, and apparently they're expecting some massive for the first time in nearly a century, Earth's night sky may be lit up by one of nature's rarest celestial events, a nova visible to the unaided eye.
Really?
Yeah, at the heart of this cosmic countdown is the Blaze Star, or T Coronae Borealis, a binary star system nestled within the elegant arc of the Northern Crown. After decades of quiet buildup, astronomers believe it could erupt any night now. If it does, stargazers around the world could witness a new star suddenly appearing where darkness reigned the night before. The exact date is uncertain. A recent analysis from astrophysicist Gene Schneider at the Paris Observatory suggests the possible eruption could be March 27th. Or possibly later.
So, I mean, do you sit there all night and just look up at the sky?
Yeah, because I want to see
champagne supernova
in the sky. Man, that'd be cool. I mean, this is something we would never have actually seen, and it could be so bright that you would see it with the naked eye.
Are you making a date?
But we don't know when it's happening.
Oh, wait a sec. We're looking at the forecast. Could be cloudy. Hang on, let me bring up my weather app. 10-day forecast, partly cloudy. Yeah, but we don't know. It could be the 27th or sometime later this year. So you'll just camp out and look up at the sky every single night to see that champagne supernova in the sky.
champagne supernova
in the sky. All right, anything else before we get out of here today at 9:47?
So what? Are you a fan of the band Journey? You ever heard of this guy named Jonathan Cain?
Yeah.
Somebody just sent me a message that
Jonathan Cain.
That's the husband of Paula Cain.
No.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, Jonathan Cain, he so he's the Cain?
I don't know if that's true. I mean, somebody just sent it to me via text because we're talking about Paula walking with a white cane, which is, funny.
Yeah, he, if I'm not mistaken, that he in Journey, I think he played keyboard, and I think he did some guitar in Journey, Jonathan Cain. So he's, Andrew's confirming, that the guy from Journey is married to this. Hold on, I thought they're in Texas now.
Where are they, Andrew?
Andrew is saying that they live in Apopka now. That's where Warren Sapp is from.
Well, he wrote that song, Don't Stop Believing.
He wrote it?
He wrote it. Oh, no.
Send $1,000 and don't stop believing.
Oh, it's kind of tainted now.
So a guy from Journey needs your $1,000 donation.
Yeah.
No. The wife's asking for the $1,000.
But what's going on there? Fester.
That's crazy.
Investigation.
I just hate religious. I hate religious rackets, man. Unbelievable. And with that,
we're really big fans of like CD crank call rackets. That's what we like.
CD what?
Crank calls.
Oh yeah,
CD
I like CD crank call rackets. Absolutely, that's my jam. You know, send Paula White Kane $1,000 and that'll get her out of a couple of jams. Yeah. All right, 9:49 at the MJ Morning Show, folks. Have a great one. My Instagram is loaded. If you haven't seen all my Philippine diving videos and related matters, Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow if you're so kind. I'm getting close to 25,000, man. Man, it's been a struggle to get to 25K. I got, some girl sits on a cake on Instagram. She's got 3.4 million followers.
I followed her yesterday.
Yeah, great. You're part of the problem over there. All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow. MJ Morning Show on Q105. And do me a favor, folks. Let's be careful out there.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer...